What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? It's been a minute. Hello, world, city, state, everybody. How's everybody doing, man? Because I can't hear you. I'm just going to take it in my head. So everybody's good. Put them vibes out there. Everybody's feeling okay.
I know I'm feeling all right, man.
Man, Malk, how you been, man? I missed you. I ain't seen you in a minute.
Hey, man, that vacation was a hit.
Was it?
That vacation was a hit. We talked a little bit about it off air, man. That vacation was a hit, man.
Yeah.
I told you, and for the listening audience and Geo, I got a hip problem, and I'm dealing with that hip problem to the best of my ability. But to get away, as you said off air, was good enough.
Yeah.
Even with the pain.
The mental break is everything, man. You know.
Even with the pain, yes, sir.
Hey, and it's listening. We already got through. Anybody in the listening audience, man, if you know any herbal remedies, I can't think of any off the top of my head for bone density, which is pretty much. We got somebody already for bone density. Y'all hit me up. I'm trying to think, Mount, because normally I know this.
Herbal remedies. Anybody know any herbal remedies?
Herbal remedies for bones. Us. Yeah, let me know or just drop a few herbs and I could probably go off that. I know oregano is good for killing germs.
Herbal remedies. What you talking about for my hip?
Yeah, for your hip.
Somebody told me to take not turmeric, but ginger.
Ginger does strengthen. Thank you. So ginger can strengthen the bones. Give me another. There's another one. It's a root.
It's two of them.
Gin root.
Gin root is another one. It's carrots. There we go. Mm-hmm. Carrots is good. And actually, if you take those things and turn it, hey Lisa, how you doing? I know you feeling good. You got that mental break too. If you turn it into a juice, you can absorb the nutrients a little bit better.
Turn carrots into a juice?
Carrots or ginger or anything, you can digest it better because, sometimes it gets stuck in your teeth or it might not have ripened good enough. So normally when you put it in a juice form, it digests better. It goes all the way through your system.
Carrots
is good. Ginger is good, and as we're speaking, I promise you some more is going to come in. Actually, a combination of vegetables. Bananas is good. Potassium is good for the bones. I knew when you said something was going to start coming to me. Bananas is good, and it might not taste good when you do this. Beets is good. It might not taste good, but if you mix some bananas, some carrots.
I can't stand beets. I can't. My mom has been trying to get me to eat beets since I was probably 5.
Your mom made butter beets?
No, I don't know. I don't think they were butter.
Okay.
I just know they were red and nasty.
But I don't think I ever had beets.
Never had beets?
Never have.
You ain't missing nothing. You ain't missing nothing, man. That I can't stand it. I cannot stand beets.
My grandma used to cook them on the stove with butter.
With butter?
Yeah.
For my health, I'll go ahead and mix something together. If it's bananas, and I'll just have to do one of these numbers. Because I don't know how I'm gonna stomach that. But anything for my health. Somebody told me ginger, and I just reminded myself what the other person said. The other person said she might be listening because she's with Lisa right now. She told me to stop ingesting, consuming gluten. She told me gluten causes a lot of inflammation.
I'm glad you said that. Before we digest, we got to stop ingesting things. Because so if we take carrot juice and whatever we take, ginger root, and we're drinking it all day, but backdooring eating McDonald's French fries
defeats the purpose. You
know what I'm saying? It's like having a diet beer. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is Hennessy, but it ain't the good. It ain't the all the way Hennessy. It's only 5%. No,
Hennessy Light.
Yeah, there we go. Hennessy Light.
Hennessy Light.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch my weight. I don't want to get that drunk. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
that would be funny up in the club.
Yeah.
Can I have a Hennessy Light?
Hennessy Light, please. Not dark. But yeah, we got to do that. Anybody trying to so-called lose weight or get better heart health or bone density or whatever. We got to stop ingesting so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
on that note, you know what I do?
What's that?
You brought up beets, you brought up bananas. I make sure I get at least half of this down every day.
Oh, that's good.
every day. Now,
That's
if I'm
good.
outside,
Mhm.
this will be gone in probably half of another bottle.
Mhm.
This whole thing, and for this water bottle, a lot of y'all do all that drinking coffee and tea, and y'all need some of this
Yeah.
water, good old fashioned water,
You know what's good?
vegetable
Rainwater.
rainwater.
We got little tins. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What you were saying?
No, I was just saying I make sure I get this down
Mm-hmm.
and vegetables in every dinner.
Hmm.
I might skip them on lunch and breakfast. Well, of course breakfast, but I
Yeah.
might skip vegetables on lunch. But every dinner, I must have some vegetables, and
Hmm.
I try to include a lot of fruits too.
Oh, that's good.
So
That's good.
and that counterbalances my vices. I do drink.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I do drink. I don't drink heavy daily,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll have me a 2 finger a day.
Yeah. A little scotch and
Just to
milk.
take the hedge off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll let you. This is the Rely Radio Show starring Inyar Zulu on your right. If you're watching, y'all please share the video. Tonight is all about evolutionary mindset.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an evolutionary mindset, or if you don't know what an evolutionary mindset is, this is a show for you with his guest Gio. I'm gonna get introduced to him as well as you will in just a few minutes. This is the Rely Radio Show on Real Talk 100 Radio. Y'all go give Inyar Zulu and his show a follow on Instagram at Rely. That is RAULI Radio. That's RAULI Radio. And before we kick it off, Rely stands for
Reboot. Oh,
and uniting lost energies.
Domino. Mount got it. Mount got it first time. And he spelled it right first time. Look at you. Mount got it. That vacation was good, wasn't it?
It was all right. It was oh, we have a request for Hennessy Light.
Yeah, I saw Jennifer Holloway. She was like, Hennessy Light, please.
It's Jennifer Holloway wants a Hennessy Light, please. Hennessy Light. Jennifer was on the cruise with us. Jennifer, I'm gonna steal her photo. Got engaged on our cruise.
Oh, congratulations!
We booked them.
Mr. and Mrs. Holloway. Well, probably not Holloway, but Mr. and Mrs. Former Holloway. Well, former Mrs. Holloway. Let me say that.
Jennifer, I don't. I thought we were friends already, but I can't find you. I'll find her in a minute. But
Malcolm
anyway,
don't like you, Jennifer. Ain't that messed up?
There she is. There she is. They got engaged. Right there.
Oh, congratulations, y'all.
And I'll put them on the screen. This is the Rely Radio Show. Jennifer, please share the video for this shout out I'm about to give you on the Rely Radio Show. I hope any of y'all's good with this. You okay with this?
Oh yeah, you good. Go ahead. Go ahead. I always
Right.
spread love.
I'll show love later. Share the video. This is the Rely Radio Show.
All right. Oh, I was gonna say too, rainwater. Everybody gets the alkalinity water and so-called spring water, but good old rainwater is good for your body. It flushes it out. So next time it rains, it seems like we've been in a drought. Next time it rains, y'all just put some buckets out there. You don't need nothing special, specifically tin or something like that, or metal or whatever. Drink the rainwater. But
rainwater.
Yeah, rainwater. Whenever it rains, just catch it, and it normally stays a good temperature if you leave it outside. It's actually kind of cool.
But just make sure though, when you are drinking water, you mix it with some type of lime, because drinking straight water is bad for your body. It can overflood, and that's why some people have instances where they passed away for drinking too much water.
Yeah.
So what I tell people is, like, for me, I take like a pinch of salt, lemons, cucumbers. Even if I'm drinking water, I counterbalance it with apple juice, grape juice, carrot juice, spinach juice, but always counterbalance that water intake.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So if I drink this every day, I'm flushing myself of all my nutrients.
Too much.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir. Too much.
So how do I know what too much is?
So typically, there are like signs. So like when you ever drink too much water to where you get bloated, is that's an indicator that your body's telling you to stop. Your body is a system of itself. So normally, like, anytime something goes wrong with your body will let you know. So bloatedness, when you start getting emptiness, it can lead to like dizziness. Some people start hallucinating with too much water. They had an instance like a few months ago. A lady went on a hike with her husband, had too much intake of water, and she unfortunately passed away. So that's why I tell, like, I just put like a pinch of salt. You used to have the Sport in the Army. They give it to us. You put it in a canteen, check it. But just a healthy salt intake. Because sodium not bad, but too much sodium is bad. Mhm.
Well, LP, I'm drinking too much water. I know.
Welcome, Geo.
I feel bloated all the time. So you're saying I'm doing myself, my body harm
Just a little
by
bit.
drinking
Yeah,
too much
just
water.
try to counteract it. If you have any vegetables, try to put it inside your water. Or I stick to a gallon a day. And I have hyperhidrosis, so even when I drink too much water, like I start sweating on palms, I sweat instantly. Cause yeah,
Profusely.
profusely.
So with that, if I am by chance drinking too much, sweating profusely will help me out if I'm harming my body.
Yes, so you have to be like so sweat is an indicator. It only so the best way to explain it is we sweat to get rid of waste. But too much sweating can lead the body to overexhaustion. So if you are drinking water, you have like if you're walking every day or if you're active, then drinking a gallon to almost a gallon and a half is not that bad. But if you're just drinking water and sitting down or typing in the office, you at least have to move around
Hmm.
because too much water is bad.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
I like the way you said that too, because I always live by this. Too much of anything, specifically for water, I say too much water will drown you, and not enough will dehydrate you.
Exactly.
But anything in life, too much of, like if you eat too much fruit, you're like a fruitarian. I knew some fruitarians, their teeth was falling out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, all I eat is fruit. It's good for you. And it's like, oh, okay, but that's a lot of sugar. So that's why sometimes their teeth will fall out early. And then the vegetable people, they're losing. They don't have enough protein.
Yeah.
So they start looking sick
Mhm.
if you eating just strictly veggies.
Veggies. Yeah.
So too much of anything can hurt you, and not enough of it can hurt
Hurt
you.
you.
It go both ways. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to stop smoking weed. So had to put that ganja down for a minute. But Geo's the guest, former military, as you heard. And you're a doctor too, from what I hear just now.
Not yet, not yet. I'm trying to be a cardiac sonographer at the moment. Eventually the plan is to be a doctor, but that's all where God tells you. I'm trying to follow His path, whatever happens, and it's been a hard path, but I take everything as a lesson. Even if I don't make it, it's maybe I'm better for something else, or maybe I'm meant for something else. So I try to guide myself. I don't take my losses as a stressor to me. I just try to take it as, hey, this is a lesson being taught because you're gonna get tested, every day, whether it's from people or Lord.
Yeah.
So you gotta make the best of every situation.
Real. How long you was in the military?
6 years. So 5 of them active, and right now I'm doing my inactive reserve. So basically, once you get out, and everybody's obligated to 8-year contract. Since I did 5, I have to finish the rest of my term out. So I'm in the inactive reserves. They call it the IR, and basically it's just on standby every year. You check in. They make sure check in your address, make sure you're fine, make sure you still just in case they need. For instance, like drill sergeants, if we ever get a shortage, hey, you're fit. No record, come back in. Sometimes it's involuntary, but that's the price that come with it, But 5 years active, and then I got 1 more year left of inactive.
Got you. Did you like your time in the military?
It's a 50-50. Let's see. I love, like I said, I think I told you already, but my whole life I thought it was always I thought that black people were the only people struggling, and then I joined the military, and it was like, man, like everybody is going through the same thing. Like I thought it was just us in the hood going through something, but this people had it worse. So for me, it opened my eyes to that somebody always has it worse than you. I say the military gave me structure. It gave me punctuality. It gave me it made me grow up very, very early. I became a leader at like 20, team leader at 20 years old, became a sergeant at 21. So I was fast tracked in my career, but it just made me grow up.
You think so? What's the other 50 that maybe you didn't agree with?
The hours,
Got you.
You can work 48, you can work 62, but you still gonna get paid the same. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the same.
So it's not no Army OT.
No, it's all salary based on rank.
Okay.
Ranking and other factors. You got like special duty pay, hazard pay, if you're married, BAH with kids, all of it. Yeah, it's just but you go it's off a scale. So you will never make more or less than what you're supposed to be making as whatever rank you're in.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. So, what's popping?
His name is Chosen, y'all.
Chosen, okay,
He
Chosen.
is
What's
a
poppin',
music
Chosen?
artist right here in Houston, Texas. Chosen. He's got an album coming up, and he will be on the show soon, hopefully.
All right.
He's joined in. He was on the cruise with us too. Had a ball. Had a
I
ball.
like that name, Chosen Uchia.
Yes, sir.
That's dope. That's different. You know, you got rappers now. Everybody got the same name, little this, little that, big this, big that.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on, what's the creativity at? But okay.
he must be an anime fan.
Oh, you see, you know what? I haven't really got into anime like that. How'd you know? What made you say that?
Uchiha. I watch it. I watch a little bit. I like cartoons every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the little childhood out. I don't mind.
Speaking of cartoons, hey family, how are y'all? The wife and kids didn't come today. We're taking care of Gmo. So
Bingo.
he said bingo.
Well, what to the anime fan?
Yes, sir. Big, yeah.
What's
Uchiha's
the-
a clan in there, so
Damn.
they pretty dope.
I gotta watch some of them. You know what? I guess it was considered fake anime. What was the one with Samuel L. Jackson?
The Boondocks,
Nah.
Black Dynamite.
No, that wasn't that a comic book?
It was, but it's anime too with Samuel. He voices both characters.
He was a ninja, Afro Samurai.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, that's an old one.
He said
Yeah.
the same thing. Afro.
Oh,
Afro Samurai, yeah.
Afro Samurai.
I was thinking Black Dynamite. Ooh,
That Afro Samurai went hard, boy.
did
I,
very graphic.
Yeah,
Very graphic.
I couldn't take my. Actually, I gotta find my tapes or something of that or a DVD I have. Afro Samurai was the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we got Gio here, man. We got the coach. Matter of fact, let me go over the recap, everybody, real quick before we get deep into this convo. Recap. Last week we had the People's Agent, Wes Miller, talking about real estate. What up, Wes? I don't know if he's on or not, but what's up, Wes? And we talked about family. And he told me that the conversation he had kind of opened up some doors within his family. And I thought that was dope. So now I want to have something I say about family every show. So I'm going to have like a family reminder here in a minute. Because I think how we handle our family has a lot to do how we handle ourselves. Like our soul and our mindset. Sometimes our family can call and we right there, you know what I'm saying? Even when we don't need to be. So I'm gonna have a family reminder here in a minute. We got deep in the family, we got deep in the culture as usual. So that was last week. You know, my wife normally sets it up. We see everything. She's like, yeah, if I didn't have her, I'd be confused in here. But like I am now. But yeah, we talked about family, we talked about real estate. He made the observation that the guy making $10,000 a month trying to spend $9,000 is worse off than the guy who makes $3,000 a month only using $1,000 of it.
Mm-hmm.
So he says when you get your house, make sure you're not spending all the time. And we should use that in life. We got 24 hours, we got 12 hours a day, 12 hours a night. And if we're using most of it on the internet or, joshing around, looking at whatever online or on TV, and not using that time to focus on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not a real big Christian person, but Jesus and them didn't spend all day jiving.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to find himself to the point where everybody was paying attention to what he was doing. When Malcolm decided to, I'm not a big Islam person. Buddha used to sit under a tree. I think they still got the tree over there somewhere in Asia. I don't know a specific place. And that was his learning tree,
mm-hmm.
finding himself. You know what I'm saying? And despite what you believe if they're real or not, it can teach you a lot. One thing you get free here on earth is time. So if we utilize that time correctly, we could become our true selves. And the Bible says you're made in the image of God. If we can start becoming that. Like me and Malcolm have said this on the show plenty of times, man. We walk around here calling each other brother, king, God, this and that, all these great names, but we don't treat each other like that.
Mm-hmm.
Act more like peasants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, peasants are
not us.
Yeah.
But most of the people who use those terms.
Yeah.
What's up, brother? What's up, sis?
Yeah.
What's up, they act like peasants more than they act like kings.
Yeah. And it's like we calling each other these names, but like you said, you went around the world and saw people that was worse off than us.
Mhm.
And if we can all see each other being not well off, how come as a brother we not trying to help each other? You see what I'm saying? Or as a sister, as a king, as a god. And actually, some of these terms like king and queen have whorish definitions to them.
Mhm.
They're not as royal as what we're made to believe. If you look at some of these old dictionaries, a queen was a little bit of a, I can't remember the exact definition, but prostitute-ish. It wasn't somebody of royalty. Those were lords and lordesses, and I think even those go deeper. Anyway, what I'm saying is, if we take that time that's free and focus on ourselves, and I said that to go back to the point where the guy that may not make as much,
Mhm.
but ain't using so much on whatever, he's better off than the guy who's making more.
Spending.
But exactly.
Mhm.
So apply that to money, but also apply that to yourself. You know, you'll live a better life if you become a better person according to your standards. And if you use that time that you have for you to create your standards, then we start to grow. He said it's the things that people gravitate to. Look at our entertainers for starters. Yeah, I agree with that, man. And I had another show where I said we got to stop looking at entertainers. Look at the name. They're there just for entertainment.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
to entertain your mental. Go ahead. What you want to say?
They're the voice of the people now, though.
Sad, but in for some people that's true.
Yeah.
You know, if an entertainer says something, we hop on it,
Mhm.
no matter how dumb it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the most recent one I seen, and sometimes I could be old school, but Ice Cube said he was going on a F the Boule tour or whatever. He was like calling people out, but it's like, so,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, okay, like I did my research back in the day on all this Illuminati and stuff, but it's like, look, y'all, research yourself. The reason why they got control over us, because every time they say something, we're giving attention to it. You see what I'm saying? So if we stop giving them attention and be attentive to ourselves, what they say will be irrelevant. We'll see them for some of them, not all of them, for some of the fools that they are.
Mhm.
You feel me? So went off a little bit, but when he said that, it just kind of sparked something. So yeah, man, invest that time into yourselves, man. I got to push that out there. Invest time into yourselves. I see Chosen saying exactly. Appreciate that. Like Chosen, invest that time into rapping. You invest that time to being, I can't pronounce the word. You said you're being a
Cardiac sonographer.
there we go, cardiac sonographer. So looking at the heart, right? Taking pictures of the heart, am I right?
Imaging. Yeah.
So what you do, because I talk to you, and every time I talk to you, tell them like how many schools have you applied to more than one school, right?
More than one, yeah.
Yeah.
So I first applied to HCC. I did my prereqs. Had a 3.2. I did volunteer hours, and it wasn't enough, so I got rejected. So I was kind of upset about it, and I was like, man, I'm about to give up on school. But thankfully, you know, my girlfriend was on my side. She was telling me no. I really don't have like that big of support in my family, but I made a big impact with friends. So a lot of people from high school, a lot of people from the Army, all ethnic backgrounds, and I say they were my support system. So I tried again, got denied at Lone Star. After that, I was like, man, I give up. School ain't for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just do whatever. But that's when I kept having dreams, and my dreams basically was telling me like, I'm not big on religion, but spirituality. So I take everything as a sign. You know what I'm saying? I take everything. So my dreams, I was like, in my dreams, I just kept feeling like I was running. All my dreams is running. No image, just me running. So I was like, let me get another shot. And now I'm applying at CHCP. I got everything right now. I'm just waiting on the initial interview, and hopefully I will start by October.
I say this every time. You're going to get it.
Yeah.
You're going to get it. I'm going to be going to him to get a picture of my heart here soon. Y'all look out for him. I already know you're going to get it, man. You're a smart dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, yeah. Man, I used to talk to Gio at this club we worked at, and I'm not going to bring up the club all the way, but yo, it's amazing how you can work around, I don't want to say hundreds, but you can work around a few people and only one person has, I don't even want to say good convo, has a spiritual mindset or a spiritually intellect mindset to where you can actually talk about something. And like at the club, you was that person. Sometimes you could work in an atmosphere, you got hundreds of people, and it's like, man, it's the same mundane talk. You saw what happened on TV?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. You saw the news? Yeah, I guess. So yeah, I appreciated that with you, man. Because I've been there, forgot I was supposed to be in the building. We out here talking so long. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I got to get back in here. I forgot.
People like I told you, like for you, it's like with a lot of other people. A lot of people don't know how to read people, and I say that is because what I'm saying. A lot of people a lot of people have a mouth full of scripture, but a heart full of hate. So you meet them.
Time out. Repeat that. Repeat that.
I say a lot of people have a heart full of scripture, but a mouth full of hate.
I like that. All right, go ahead. Finish. That was deep.
Like I said, with me, when I was growing up, like I said, I went through a lot of trouble sometimes. So I was a very angry person, and it wasn't until I got out the army and I met Courtney, and I told you and Courtney, y'all emulate the same thing. So it's like with y'all, it's like when I talk to people, a lot of people don't like to have the intellectual thoughts. So you ask them questions, and then some of them will get frustrated because they don't know the questions themselves. And so then you go on the backwards of, are you really arguing or? And so with you and other like you, Courtney, a bunch of my friends, even my girlfriend is like, when I talk to y'all, it's something of substance. So like like I told you, I was like, hey man, I'm scared to start a family. You ain't telling me like, hey, go out there, man, live your life. You telling me ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with being a husband. Ain't nothing wrong with being a father. You see what I'm saying? So for me, it's like you would still motivate me, but you wouldn't down me. You would give me advice, but the advice is like, hey, this is for you to better you. So that's why I was like, man, when I met you, that first conversation, we stood out there. I was like, man, I was like, hey, gotta have you in my life.
Let's back up for just a minute. I gotta ask this question because you said y'all met in a club and he was shedding light on you in a club.
Yeah, we was in a club. Yeah, full of everything in it, man. It was a sex club.
Okay.
Yeah, and so what makes that even doper, now that I say it out loud, we're sitting here surrounded by, I don't want to say sin, but we're surrounded by heat. Human heat. You know what human produced heat. And I'm not talking about breath. You know what I'm saying? And amongst all that, like I say in the Bible, we was having church outside the club.
Okay.
They say when you fellowship, that's when you have church.
Yes, sir.
And we sitting out there chopping. I mean, you talk about distractions. You see butt naked women coming through there at any time, and men. But you see the women coming through. They talking with you, trying to touch. Is my wife watching? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna tell it. I didn't hear anything.
So in amongst all that heat that's going on, we chopping it up about this. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of dope, and I can't say that for everybody there. I really can't say that. I can't. Damn, you the only person I can say that.
Yeah, only.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's real admirable, man. And plus, and I don't like hitting on age when I say this, but for you to be at the maturity level in life that you in, like, not to call you a baby, but you're a little bit, man, he has a head on his shoulders to be this age and to yearn the knowledge. Because I've talked to other people in his maturity bracket. You're mature than them, but it's like the conversation is not going in any of those directions. Like it's going, it's not. Look, some adults on my level, I be having a problem. Like, huh? What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I got off track again, but I don't care. It's still going somewhere. So, but yeah, that's why I had to have this brother on the show, man. Plus, I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Let me get back to the recap. Wes Miller was on here. Y'all look him up. Wes Miller, the People's Agents on Instagram. He'll help you with all your real estate needs. If you're looking for a house, apartments. I know he's big on leasing right now. So y'all check him out. Wes Miller, the People's Agent on Instagram. Sister Vicky, who I had on talking about domestic violence, 3 shows ago? I think it was. Anyway, look up the show Domestic Violence, how to prevent and escape domestic violence. She's having her workshop on the 16th of September. I'm going to repeat that. The 16th of September is her workshop. The 16th of September. If you look on my page, I got the flyer on there. I've been posting it. It's free. Y'all come through, have some fun. She'll be talking about ways to get out of domestic violence. She came in here and shared her story. I forgot I had that flyer. Let Let's see, where is it at? There we go. That one right there. You know, I'm trying to play with the effects on the internet, and it looked like it got a little confusing with that one. My girl was telling me it looked like it's blurred.
Do
But
you have a regular picture that I can share
yes, I
on
will.
your? Is it on your page as well?
Yeah, it should be. I had a regular one on there. If not, it's on the Instagram one, but it should be on this one. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look, you got me about to start jamming here. It might have been them, but I know it's on my Instagram one. I think I just repeated that one.
Okay.
But there it goes all the way.
No, those are all reels.
Oh, those aren't pictures. Oh, okay.
That's okay.
I had to get it later. But yeah, she's having her workshop. Y'all look out for her. It's on Saturday the 16th. It's on my page. I've been posting it. As you can see, I put music behind it. Dr. Annette, she'll be there also. She was also on the show. She'll be dropping knowledge. She taught a lot last time she was here. She was dropping games. She's gonna be back on the show. Speaking of, she was talking about family too. Mm-hmm. Something that stood out that she said to me, man. I asked her a question. I was like, "Yep, there she go, right there." I asked her a question. I said, "Hey, do you think our people should start our own adoption program? Since the way the adoption program is here?" And she answered with me saying, "We did have one." And I was like, "Wait a minute, I haven't heard about this." She said it was Big Mama.
Program.
No, it wasn't a program. She said it was Big Mama. Big Mama used to take care of all the kids, no matter who it was. So your daddy left and something happened, whatever, with the family. Big Mama just, you mine now. And everybody thought Big Mama was their mama. Like, even I remember when I was young, we had a mama on the block that was just mama, just, and I'm hungry. You go in there, she'll give you something to eat.
Yeah, we got the candy lady though. That was for us.
Same thing. Same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Lady.
The candy lady, the Cool Pops lady, you know, whoever it was, that'll be the block. And even if you didn't have the money,
she knew who he was.
She was gonna, yeah, exactly.
She knew who he was. Come back, she'll take care of you.
Yeah,
don't make it a habit, but
yeah, for real, because she had to make hers too. But we had that in our culture, man. I think it's kind of dissolved a little bit. We need to get it to revolve, but it kind of dissolved. But yeah, I like the way she said that, and so I like to push that. But she'll be there. Sister Vicky, she's running the show. Of course, Rely Radio will be there. My wife will be there, pushing Hula Orr. Malcolm got it on the screen for me. I sure appreciate it. Y'all check that out. Yeah, the Attorney General will be there. They really trying to help people in domestic violence situations, man. So y'all give that a shout out. Just go support. If you are in a situation and you're looking for some type of support, I can speak for Sister Vicky. I'm sure everybody there can help, but I can speak for Sister Vicky and Dr. Annette. They'll help you, man. Those women got some beautiful hearts. They genuinely care. I wouldn't mess with them if they didn't. You know what I'm saying? Or I tell you, or I just tell you not to go. But them women got some beautiful hearts, and I'm sure the other two women do, Brooklyn and Jennifer. And oh, my glasses are failing me. But what can you see that, Malcolm? What's the name on there?
I see Miss Marissa Paz.
Yeah, Marissa. I'm sure Marissa and Jennifer and Brooklyn. Yeah,
Brooklyn's son, Annette Williams, Victoria Jackson, Jennifer Jones.
All of them, I'm sure they got good hearts too.
And Dominique Patterson is the Office of the Attorney General.
Yep, and she'll be there. So it's going to be real nice, man. Y'all come out and, just support, man. Listen to it, and you might go here and you might not be in a situation, but you might know someone who is, and you can get them references and help. We got to start helping each other, man. To help somebody is free. It don't cost you a damn thing. You ain't got to pull no money out. And this event is free. So you go over there, get the info, take it back to the whoever needs help, and just spread the love like COVID. You know what I'm saying?
We have a question by T.Y. Shy Major.
All right, you're gonna make me get into this right now. All right, brother Major. We'll get back to the other stuff. Y'all check out Sister Vicky. Evolutionary mindset. This is what I say to myself, and then I'm gonna let Gio answer this. I said evolutionary instead of revolutionary because you got to evolve everything you do. I believe the word in front of research is the I forgot the word of it, but the word before search is re, and before is repeat, redo. So you got to continuously search. reading one book or two books and listening to a couple speeches on the internet, that's not going to do it. You know, so your mind got to be set that, hey, the minute I think I know it all, I got something else to learn. And you asked me, you said one thing you said you wanted to talk about on the show was rebranding the culture. You see what I'm saying? In order to rebrand something or give it a new definition, you would have to look into it deeper. You can't look into it with the same eyes. If I'm looking at the culture the same way it was being looked at in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and whatever, I'd be stuck. Even though some of the same things are happening, it's happening on a whole nother level. So an evolutionary mindset, no matter what you're doing, even if you're working at a job, is evolving yourself. Having it in your head that, hey, I'm not going to stay this way. This isn't the only way I could be. Go, your turn. What do you think it is?
For evolutionary or revolutionary?
Evolutionary mindset.
For me, evolutionary, it's like the same thing you said. It's just that we have to change according to the times because we can't keep whatever happened in the 60s, the discipline and everything, it changes over, we're a new generation. So you have to conform, we don't see the same things that we see back in the day. Like, for instance, I grew up on the community police itself. If you acting up, the lady next door tell your mama, your mama will get on you. The teachers, you go to school, my teachers, pull your pants up. Yes, sir, no, ma'am.
Hold up, man, you're not that old.
See, but I grew up in Louisiana. That's like Louisiana. So all my teachers were predominantly like black women and men. So it was always
old school.
Okay.
All right.
So that was the difference between, like, say, like, even coming from you coach different in Houston than you coach in Louisiana. Because city boys don't. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with them, but they learn a different thing when they you got highways. You got like 7 different counties. You got 7 different counties in each other. We just had one big community. So you have to change to evolutionary. You have to evolve and not conform, because conform is you fall into what everybody else is doing, but you do have to change your mindset and your approach because times are different.
Ask me another question. I like it. But that's evolutionary mindset, and we're discussing that to enhance the thinking of our culture. He's a teacher, right?
Yeah, well, I'm a sub, but still a teacher. Yeah,
man, I don't care if you're a pre-sub or a part-time. You teach at a school, right?
Yes.
Teacher, right here, very important job. Matter of fact, what do we do for the mindsets of the people whose minds haven't evolved? You want to answer that first?
So the best way I say, like, okay, so not everybody's going to be on par with change. So I say that sometimes we have to let people go in order to move forward. So we can't bring everybody to the light, but if we bring the best possible and like the best possible and people that want to be there, 2 is better than 1. 2 brings 2. Those other 2, you branch out, bring 4. 4 brings 8. So we can't really change, because you can't change nobody who doesn't want to change. It's just plain and simple. We just gotta evolve what we got and move forward what we got, and people willing to put in the work. Other than that, I mean, it's really hard, especially when you speak about change, because a lot of people are rooted into customs. And a lot of these customs, like I saw a thing today. It said a lot of the time it's not generational trauma, but generational choices. So a lot of people already put their mind, like, if we see that, say, like, you go on social media, you see a bunch of just like black African Americans robbing. A lot of people picture, hey, all African Americans do this. It's one single picture, but it's like, no. A lot of us work 9 to 5. A lot of us pay taxes. A lot of us, do what we got to do. But you got to think about it. Good don't sell within media.
True.
Drama does.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's all it is for evolutionary mindset. If you can change yourself, you can change your one person. You change your mindset, gonna change one person. That one person gonna change somebody else, and it's a chain reaction.
I agree with that too, man. If somebody's not enlightened or they don't want to be enlightened, and I've had to learn this over the time, man. I used to be one of them people who I was just like, man, why do you believe that? Hey, why you do that? Why you do that, man? I got proof that what you doing isn't, living proof, book proof, whatever you wanted. I got it for you. But you know what? If you laying down sleep and I wake you up, you're gonna be scared. You just gonna, whoa, what? You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna know how to react. You just gonna react whatever. I apply that same concept to people who don't want to hear it. So if somebody don't try to change nobody, man. If they come to you and they want that work from you, give it to them. But if they're not trying to be where you're at, then I hate to say it like this, don't waste time with them. Let them, when they're ready, they're going to come to you. They're either going to get it from you or somebody else and then come back to you. I had it was a youngster I was talking to, a family friend's boyfriend. Her boyfriend, we was chopping it up. And I had told him something when he was younger. And he came back to me because when he was younger, he was like, man, what you saying about, Christianity is messed up. I'm like, oh, my bad. No, I'm lying. I started going in on it. But he came back to me when he was older and was like, yo, man, I started looking into everything you said, even that day. And you was right on a lot of things. And so, like I say, you could plant the seed. But let it grow. Let it grow. You know what I'm saying? If they come back to you, want some more, pour some more water on it. But don't force feed it down nobody's throat. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever do that. Because that's just gonna mess them up. That's gonna push them further away. You know what I'm saying? Further away from you. So I hope that answers your question. Ty, am I saying T.Y. Shy Major? T.Y. Shy Major. What's up, my man? I appreciate you listening to the show, man. That's some good questions. You got my mind running. I like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I don't ever try to change not anymore. I ain't gonna say I've been perfect. What's up, Mal? My bad.
So when they say, I agree with you, but this is what I get a lot of times when I say leave them where they at. Teach one, reach one. You're better than that, Malcolm. And I'm just like, I'm supposed to just keep beating my head up against the wall. I'm just,
yeah,
that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
because I'm trying to be a leader in the community. I need to continue beat my head against this wall. They're not going to listen to guidance, instruction. Just keep beating my head against the wall. What do you feel about that? I mean, that's the rebuttal I always get because I'm setting myself up to be a leader in the community, and I'm giving up on people when I'm supposed to be reaching one and teaching one.
You can only, man, this is within my reach right here. Now, if he all the way over there, I can't reach that. You know what I'm saying? And now if he wants to listen to somebody who's with them, because they're within my reach, they want to learn. They're gonna be around me. If they don't want to hear this stuff, they're gonna be over here. They got an ear, you know what I'm saying? They definitely gonna ear hustle or ear jack, but they might not be ready to embrace, the whole, or just acquiesce the whole spirit of what I'm doing. But reach who you can reach, man. And as a leader, you're first off, you're a student, you're a follower. So, you know what I'm saying? So if anybody was to say that to you again, be like, no, I'm not better than that. I'm just Malcolm. And if they don't want to hear it, I'm not going to keep enforcing it. That don't work for nobody, man. That don't work for nobody. But I definitely tell them, man, or if you agree with this, if they don't want to be reached, they can't be reached. What do you want to say to that?
No, I live my life on quotes. I love quotes. And it's like, you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. So like, I am not gonna lie to you. For me, I feel like a lot of Black activists and a lot of people who do put that work in the community, they get so much backlash because when they say sometimes we have to let some of our people go, sometimes you have to let people go because some people can be a burden more than they can help you succeed to your goal.
Exactly.
It may suck, but hey, eventually, we can try to get them out, but we can't hold back our progress waiting on people to catch up to our speed.
Exactly.
We just got to keep pushing it forward. And as a leader, one thing I learned as a leader is it's not supposed to be easy. A leader takes the burden, but a leader also has to know when to let go. You have to know when to cut off. You have to know because some people get on a second try, some people get on a third try. But if it's a consistent idea of failure, we gotta let them go. You have to let them go.
Let them go.
Let them go.
Just give up on them.
Well, it's different ways when you say give up. So for me, I just pray for them. I'm non-denomination, so I believe there's a higher power, but I don't believe in the names given to us by a lot of oppressors. So for me, I just I say the tongue is powerful. The words you say, because words have motivated people to go to war. Words have got people killed. Words have words are very powerful. So I would say, as in give up, I take that term kind of strong because I don't just say abandon them, but every now and then, hey, you know you better than that. Keep it pushing.
Exactly.
Hey, you know we got the services you need whenever you're ready. Keep it pushing. I won't just abandon them completely because they still are people, and we know better than the other people who treat us like garbage.
Yeah.
So, but I just believe keep that constant. Hey, the door is always open when you're ready. We not leave them, but we give them the option whenever they're ready. They can come to us, but we can't stop forward progress because people don't want it.
Man, if you're in a relationship, and this goes with you in a female-male relationship, like your gal, or if you got a partner.
Mm-hmm.
Man, some of my partners that I mess with to this day. Oh, let me say this real quick, and I'm about to get to you. Some of my partners that I mess with to this day, I'm trying to do something better with my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sit around smoking all day, pulling scams, doing all kinds of other shit. And it's like they'll look at you different.
Mm-hmm.
So in that terms, I'll be like, man, I gotta abandon you. Sometimes you gotta be Jesus before you get your disciples. Then when they see that it's possible, then they'll listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what Brother Shy said real quick. What if it's your kids you're trying to educate and you would give them not in force, but constantly giving them the sauce? Check it. I don't know how old your kids are, right? One, you got to be that example. You got to be that example. And as daddy and mommy, but as daddy, as fathers, they look at you so much, man. We don't even notice sometimes. Like my daughter's, her lingo was like mine at 6. And even nephews and cousins, they look up to you. So if it's your kids, you got to take that extra time out, man, because they listening, but sometimes you might not see that they listening until something actually happens.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like, oh, dang, you was listening the whole time? You know what I'm saying? My dad would tell me stuff sometimes, and he'd be like, David, don't mess with that girl. Don't mess with that girl. You know when you're young and stupid, you'd be like, Dad, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you're talking about. She's a nice one. Everybody wants her. He's like, David, she hot. I know she hot. That's why I'm getting it. You know what I'm saying? Then a couple people get burned, and it's like, damn, glad I stayed away from her. You know what I'm saying? Like, so keep giving it to them, man. Do not give up on your seeds, man, at all. Because the minute you give up on them, they've lost out on a parent. And that's a whole nother, what's the word? Man, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. And even like nephews and little cousins that might look up to you, man, if they coming to you, keep giving it to them, and then also be that example. Don't tell your kids, man, it's not good. You know how many uncles and aunts I had said, don't smoke cigarettes? They would smoke cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, I might not, but why is you still hitting this stick in front of me? You know what I'm saying? But you telling me not to do it, but not enforce, but constantly give them, man. Keep giving them the sauce, man. Sprinkle it on every meal that you cook. You feel me? On every meal that you cook. And then add a little extra to it. So maybe there's a little sweeten and spice. What you got to say to that?
I mean, I don't have kids, but I teach them.
There you go.
So for me, it's what I do is, because a lot of kids, every situation is different. Everybody's situation is different. So you can't, just because that advice work for you, it may not work for the next person. But for me, it's like I tell them, like, I may not have the answer now, but I will look for it. I will give you that answer.
There you go.
So you tell them up front, like any situation I approach with kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I want you to better your life. What I do, I make them think for themselves. Because if I be like, hey, you can go to college, you can do that, like, you just telling them something they don't want to hear. Because we all ignorant with kids, so you don't want to hear that. Like I always told myself, my mom was right half of the time. I just like her tone. For me, I just say you got to put that thought and let them think for themselves. Because if you constantly give it to them, they're gonna be like, okay, well, my daddy gonna help me with my life, my mama gonna help me with life, and they go depend on you, codependency. But you have to, hey, college is available, trade school available. As an adult, you can't stoop to the same level as a child. And that's what I see in a lot of parents is the kids start yelling and they quick to yell back at the kid. And it's like, they're children. They gonna do that. Why are you getting mad? They expressing, they don't know how to control their emotions. Yeah. So like I tell my kids, like, hey, I want to do something with my life. Well, we got trade school, we got entrepreneurship, we got we got 4-year universities, we got certificates, we got offshore, we are welders, we're pipe fitters, you are truck drivers. So I give them the option. Always, I give them the information, but I let them choose for themselves. I will never, especially if I know better, I'm gonna do better. So I would never leave them blind, but I would never give it to them all. You have to let them figure it out.
No, I agree with that, man.
Because everybody different.
Exactly. My dad did that with me. He was like, Dave, you know if you do this is gonna happen. He let me walk, and when you give it to him, it's gonna be in your library, man. It's gonna be in that mental library. So whenever you need to read that book, you'll be able to take that book out and be like, oh, he said this was gonna happen. All right, let me flip the page, and he said this too. All right, cool. So lead by example, and like he said, man, give them options. Look, adults need options. We need options. Half of us don't like. If we was given options, we would be doing a lot of different stuff. If we was able to express our emotions, we would have turned out different than what we are now. Some of us, if we grew up in that age where it's like, it's my way or the highway. If we was given, so think about that with your kids. What is it that you didn't get when you were younger? Evolve that, and give that to your kids, man. And then on top of that, like he said earlier, every child is different, man. Every human being is different. Don't apply that same technique or style or strategy on every kid or anybody in your life. You know what I'm saying? That will help you strengthen relationships. Actually watch them and get to know them and see how they're. I'm not going to talk to my daughter the same way I'm going to talk to my son. 1's 6 and 1 is 1, so of course not. But I'm not going to talk to my nephew the same way I'll talk to one of my other cousins because they receive stuff different. You know what I'm saying? When you making biscuits and when you making pizza, you use the flour in a different way. You use different amounts of water. You put different seasonings in there. You might let it rise. You might put yeast in there if you're making rolls. So flour can be used for different things, just depending on what you're cooking it for. So like you said with the sauce, use that sauce and apply it correctly to wherever you're cooking. You know what I'm saying? So with the kids, yeah, that's how you do that with the kids. So yeah, do that, man. How old are your kids? Let me know. But
who you talking? You talking to Ty?
Yeah, the Shy.
Shy Major. How old are your children? Is the question.
If you don't mind putting that out there, I'm not trying to. I'll be forgetting. Yeah, I'm not trying to put the business, but if you don't want to tell me, that's cool. Despite their age, man, do it according to their age. Sometimes you gotta. They say something now. My nephew told me the other day. I was confused. He said, "Yeah, no cap." And I was telling him, I said, "I ain't got no hat on." He said, "You know what I'm saying? I didn't know." Oh, wait, did he say something?
I have to, before we get to T.Y. Shy Major's comment, I have to give a public apology to some of our commenters. I'm getting comments on my personal page, but they're not showing up on the screen. We are not ignoring you. We have Chris Spice Knight has been commenting.
What's up?
She's been commenting the whole night, but
snap.
Her comments aren't showing up. I apologize, Chris Spice Knight. Her latest comment is, children are definitely absorbing their surroundings and constantly learning. Yet we as humans are learning from life. We as humans are learning from. I think that's a misprint, but she said are learning from life and our life experiences. So we're continuing to learn from our life and our life's experiences. Did y'all understand that?
Yeah, I agree with that. We are learning from life experiences.
Okay.
Every time something happens, man, like I'm kind of like you when you said earlier. I don't think I make mistakes. I think I have mistakes. And sometimes you do things without the knowledge, and then once you do it and trip over your shoelaces, you're gonna start tying your shoes. Or if you're walking down the street and 30 people tell you your shoes untied, and then you bust your head, you'll learn, hey, if someone's saying this, it might have some type of, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Where do you think we are headed? There we go. Where do you think we're headed as a nation of people now compared to the mindset of the people in the U.S. as it has evolved? So I'm thinking that you're taking where we headed as like a culture of people compared to the mindset of as the United States as a whole. Do you want to answer that first?
Essentially, you're talking about the nation as like the United States or nation as in. Well, for me, I'm honestly, I think it's about to be a good a good run for our money for the next 10 years. Only because, like I said, I run on quotes, and I like to read. I read a lot, and these are signs like every great civilization falls. Every great civilization falls. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
And one thing I know is like for a nation of our people, I hope that we all get it together. But from right now, from what it's looking like, I think we kind of run for our money.
You know what? I think a lot of us, especially the ones that are publicized, quite a few of us are lost. But we was talking outside one time, and you said sometimes it's hard to connect or find people that want to connect on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
So there's people like us out here. We just gotta meet up. You know what I'm saying? So I think for a lot of us folks, yeah, some of us are gonna man, I say this all the time, man. As a culture, some of us are just gonna be gone. Because we're already gone spiritually and mentally. We're already gone. We don't have any sense of spirituality. We don't even have any sense of reality. Some of us thinking that we're not at war on an everyday basis. We think everything's cool. The president's this. We got food in the stores, and it's like, yo, there's people out here that actually sit back and plot against us on a daily basis. And like you said earlier, this is happening around the world. It ain't just here. I think my partner went to Jamaica and said, man, over there, you think we got it bad over here in the hood. Some of us, we got a window unit, air conditioning in the window. We got lights. We got running water. He said, man, I went over there because the dude took them off the tourist places and actually took them in there. And they said, although the food was good, they had dirt in their house. They were sitting in there with dirt and literally living with, we walking on, man, I got to fix this tile. No. There's no tile. This is straight dirt. They might have ants in their kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So, man, you know what? That's a good question. I think the mindset, we got to realize that, yeah, we're bad off over here, but if we work with other people around the world, we wouldn't be as bad off. You know what I'm saying? And the U.S., I think it's evolved in the way it oppresses us. You know what I'm saying? I think we got, there we go. Chris is in the house. I think, how it oppresses us. We don't see it like they saw it back then. Yes, Malcolm, definitely have a finger in auto. She's like something happening with the computer.
I think she switched off of. She was on my personal page, so I think So thank you, Chris. Thank you for joining in. This is the Rely Radio Show, and as you know, this is Inyar Zulu, the star of the show, and this is his guest tonight, Mr. Gio. Gio is in the building. Thank y'all for joining in. Y'all please share the video all over the world. This show is all about what again?
We are rebuilding and uniting lost energy, and that is pretty much, I know everybody, despite your color, your creed, whatever, has something in them where they're like, man, this is not the way to live, and I'm attracting those people. Hey, man, we got to stop abiding by this type of lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? There's more out there than working, and, we can create a heaven here on earth. There's a documentary. I used to read this dude's book, named Osho. OSHO, right? I used to read his books. Come to find out, he had his own compound. And I can't remember the name of the documentary, but just type in Osho. And on the compound, when I said he had everybody on their compound, black, white, Chinese, and they all said the same thing, like throughout the documentary. They was like, man, we were doing some major things mentally. He said, yeah, we might have been on acid or whatever. He said, but what we were doing spiritually. And one of the things that amazed me was you had tax accountants on there. You had former Hollywood, former lawyers. All these people pulled their resources together to get some land and accomplish a purpose. Like, This has happened. You know what I'm saying? This is possible. I always tell people to research Acres Home.
Yeah, you told me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, how it started.
Yeah, exactly. You used to buy it per acre.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And when people would come home from the war, the land was cheap for our people, and you would go over there and you would have your acre or 2, 3, 4 acres of land or whatever you got, and that's how you would live. Before they ran the freeway through there and all that stuff, you could damn near get to I don't know, not city gas, but you could damn near get to the south side by walking.
Oh, geez.
How it was structured.
Mm-hmm.
They used to walk everywhere, you know, so it's happened and it's happening. But I don't think we get that frequency because we're so caught up in other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Shared resources is a lost discipline.
True.
These days.
True.
They don't want to share.
Yeah.
They're selfish. They want all the sauce for themselves. Long story short, a lot of people, I'm not talking about everybody.
Yeah.
But that's hindering growth in a lot of areas.
Yeah, we got to share knowledge, man. We got to start like, just as a people, I'm going to say this right quick and I want you to respond. Mm-hmm. As a people, if you would have met me probably like 8 years ago, I was totally non-white, non-nobody. The research I had looked at was like, yo, y'all always fucked us. Mm-hmm. Like if you look up the Brown Berets, and even if you look up the LGB community or LGACAW, whatever they have now, all that, they tagged on to the civil rights, women's rights, women's suffrage. They tagged on to the civil rights. All of them got their paid dues, and we got screwed. You know what I'm saying? So that was and I had proof of it. But as I started living life, I met white folks that was telling me things that their families did that I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, my family bought off this. They didn't. It was your people that owned it. Mm-hmm. Some of my family members killed off your people. Just giving me knowledge. Back in the day, they told me how I can get a house off looking in the tax records. They said you go up to the public library. Now I know half the stuff is on the internet, but if you just tell somebody that to give them an opportunity, hey, they're hiring up here. If you need a quick buck. I know when I used to get a job, I tell all my partners, hey, while I'm here, if they're hiring, I'm gonna let you know. But sharing knowledge, man, or just sharing something you went through. You know, hey man, I went through this. My mom used to talk to me this, and now I do this. Mm-hmm. That could help somebody. Like I said earlier, sharing is free, but we got to definitely start sharing knowledge, man, no matter who you are. Because the minute humanity gets better, everybody will then know their place. Mm-hmm. The white dude telling me that, and man, I've had Colombians, primarily Colombians, and a couple people from Brazil, but that's all South America, come to me telling me, yo, I got family members with hair thicker than yours that are way more radical than you. Like if you was talking to them like you talking to me, they would go get their guns and say, let's do something. Mm-hmm. I'm like, ooh. And that they got grandmas that look like my big mama. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what they call them. It's not Abiduela. It's some, I forgot to say it. I said it wrong. But they call them. But anyway, sharing that information let me know, like, damn, it's not just people here in America that are not just suffering, but they ain't just black folks here in America. It's all over going through stuff. But what's your thoughts on that, man? What's your thoughts on people holding information and sharing?
I was reading this book. I don't know if a lot of people. It's called "Souls of Black Folk" by W.E.B. Du Bois, and it basically said that. I say it like this, right? So everybody knows that we came here slavery. Everybody knows that most of our knowledge comes from the oppressors. Mm-hmm. So it's like a lot of people. What happening is some people are so doctrinized about what black should be from white people that, you know, they turn into the same people that attack the community. You know, it's like a black person. He was basically saying in the book, like a black person with knowledge can do the same type of torment as a white man to his own community. Mm-hmm. So with the sharing of knowledge, I believe, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people don't want to intake it. A lot of people, ignorance is bliss. You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of people, like, I'm a leader, I want to be a leader, but once you know something, so you know, knowledge is power, but knowledge is also sufferable too, because you know, like I said, man, I had to rechange. This was like I had to rebrand the way I talk, the way I think. I used to see, like, you know, growing up, I see people on the corner and be like, "That's a crackhead," But now that I'm older, it's like, no, that's a man who uses crack as a form to cope with his traumas. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, but once you know, like the world don't get, everybody want to be a leader, but once you gain knowledge, the world don't get easy. It gets harder.
True.
Because not only that you know better, but it's like sometimes we can't do nothing and you know what's going on. Like we say, I used to hate my stepmom because she'd be like, stay in. We come to Houston, we go to Florida. She'd be like, y'all can't play past 8 o'clock. Y'all can't do this and that. And I'm like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
But then when I got older and I started reading, it's like Houston is the fourth biggest city for child sex trafficking. And when you realize that, it's like, man, like, wow, it really changes. Like we really allow kids, like children, to just run off. Times ain't the same no more. You see what I'm saying? You can't ride your bike through the neighborhood. People are too trigger happy. People are scared now. And the problem is, especially with us, is like the knowledge don't get shared within our communities because, like you said earlier, with social media, is white America pushes this ideology on, hey, this is what Black's supposed to be, but we lost our culture. You see what I'm saying? We lost, and that's the biggest struggle right now with unity with us and getting information across is because we don't know. It's a struggle with African identity amongst African people. A lot of us, we come from slaves. A lot of us are descendants from slave and slave masters breeding together. But a lot of us don't know where we come from. So this is why, like, you'll see like we have the diaspora wars. You have they call them mulattoes, but like I tell people, you gotta research definitions because mulattoes in different countries mean white, but in America it means mixed, and that's why we have diaspora wars or like, yo, you too light, you too black, and I tell my children, hey, black is black. Any black is a dominant gene, it's a dominant trait. So it don't matter if you mix with anything. If you mix with black, you're predominantly black.
True.
So we get so caught up into, oh, you're this, you're that, you're not full, and we're just doing the same thing that like white America has been pushing on us for generations.
That on that note, what gets on my last nerve?
What's that?
I can't verbalize it the way they be saying it, but it gets on my last nerve. Who cares? I don't. Y'all might. Somebody in the audience might. But when they team up and say it's team yellow against team black or team I forgot how they verbalize
like
it.
dark skin, team light skin.
There you go. And team dark skin. Don't you realize that that's just another device to do what? Separate. I hate it, man. I can't stand it. I don't care if you're light skin. I don't care if you're dark skin. I don't care. I don't care. But that gets on my last nerves. How about y'all?
I don't like that. I don't like separation. I know they used to have the brown bag when I was younger. If you was same color,
they had it with us too.
Yeah,
growing up, it's like, oh, they used to light skins or light skins do something a certain way.
Yeah,
and then they'll associate like dark skin. Like, hey, I don't know. Back in my day, they used to call them like African booty scratchers in elementary.
Yeah, they did that with me.
Very distasteful, man.
It's all about division. TY says it's all about division.
Yeah, he said a couple things, and so did Chris.
Chris last night, yes, sir. I didn't
both
want
of
to
them
interrupt
said that.
y'all.
No, I appreciate it. I was reading it.
Y'all's vibe was absolutely wonderful. So I didn't want to jump in the way, but y'all were touching on. I think I touched on it, the selfishness of people.
Yeah,
he was bouncing off of that by saying what he said right here.
You know what? I agree with that to an extent. I think that the process or the strategy of selling information has gotten too monetary, like it's too money backed. And I say that because, and I hate to say when I was young because I'm still young, but I know when I was a young chap, used to have places like the Shrine or whatever, and speakers would come and just tell you stuff that was going on in their city or places that they went. You know what I'm saying? And they would just give you knowledge. And some people didn't need to hear that because they might go snitch. Or you have people in the neighborhood that you had drug dealers, man. I hate to call them that, but you had people that was, some of them drug dealers back in the day used to really bring money in the neighborhood. They paid for some of these shops, these gas stations that we had. They paid for the brother to walk around to have the doctor that would come check on you because you didn't want to go to the hospital. So I hate to. I saw a different side of some of them drug dealers, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've gotten into it with cops before and have them step in for me, or my dad, trying to pull my dad over somewhere, and then you just see 3 brothers thugged out coming out, just 3, not even like 12. The 3 would come out, or the 2 would come out, and they would be like, "Yo, what's popping? Get back in the car with your kids. What's popping?" You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I saw a different side with that. So I agree with the game is not to be sold, but not to be told, but sold. But I think is we should hold information from certain people until we peep they aura, their mission. I can talk to you about certain things. I wouldn't talk to other people in the club about certain things because I know it wouldn't even lead anywhere. It would just sit there and fizzle. It would be crack instead of cocaine, but you'd be killing yourself. Like he said, run your head into a wall. So I do believe that some of this game we need to keep within ourselves because passing it out to everybody is not always good, but when you selling it, it's kind of like spreading it out anyway. Because if you got the highest dollar, that dude who paying for it or that group who paying for it might not have your best interest at heart either. Mm-hmm. You see? So you write a book for everybody to read, somebody might take that and flip it on us. So, I agree with that though. We should withhold information from certain people. I believe that we should definitely do that. You know what I'm saying? What about it's kind of like when you wouldn't tell certain people certain things about your life because you know how they use it, either against you or they'll run off and go tell everybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like even working at a job, if you had a job, you got that one person who's the manager whisperer. Mm-hmm. They'll come over there and say, yeah, the manager pissing me off today, man. I'm about to slap James in his face. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, oh damn, for real? Go slap him then. Nah, how you feel about him? Wait, what? You know what I'm saying? You end up chopping it up, James come talk to you. Hey man, is there a problem with the way I'm working? Yeah, but wait, why? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful on who you tell stuff to people too, man. To go back to yours real quick, this whole team light skin, dark skin, it gotta stop. It gotta be team evolutionary mindset and demolishing team that want to stay in the same, trying to infiltrate. Mm-hmm. That should be the teams, man. But man, let me. You want to say something else?
I was just making sure Ty had something else to say.
Look, I'm tripping. They hide information in the book. People go read a book for free. Won't share the information, but will say, yo, that's true.
Ain't that some shit,
man? They'll go read the book and won't even tell you what book to go read.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
You might execute the plan of the book better than them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's true, man. There's a brother on I used to listen to back in the day. He didn't have too many books, but he used to go around speaking. It was 2 of them really. You had C. Freeman L. And Bobby Hemmett, and I see people. Oh, even Dr. Africa, and I can go on for days. But I see people having classes off what they was teaching years ago now and using it as if it's new information. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then saying, hey, pay me and I'll give this info to you. When really you can go read Dr. Africa's book or listen to a Bobby Hemmett speech or C. Freeman L. or you got to really find their books underground. But it's like, matter of fact, what's that philosopher's name? It was a white philosopher who predicted all this stuff. Nostradamus. Mm-hmm. Pre-Nostradamus, now I feel bad because I won't blank on the brother who predicted this. Not Benjamin, but a lot of the tribes that we had back in the day. Nostradamus got his information from them. Mm-hmm. But he started saying it in his language, and everybody thought he was smart. And when you said we work through the eyes of the white man or our oppressor, we do that now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's true, man. You got me on that. Y'all done got me on that, man. Let me ask you a question, Gio. Mm-hmm. From your time in the military, and how would you say we approach our people now? Like how would you build your community? Like, who would you allow in? Like, how would your approach be to building a community?
For me, representation matters. So, it's nothing against every other race, but at this point in time, I think we need to stop focusing on what other people think of us and start, doing what we need to do for ourselves.
Mhm.
So, if I was like, for me, my goal is, my end goal in life. If I could do anything, I'm not trying to be a millionaire, billionaire. I just want to have like a community. When I say that, it's like we had communities way before. We had Rosewood, we had Black Wall Street, we had all this. But for me, I say like, I want like-minded people. So if you're a doctor, hey, you bring it, you teach your expertise. But a hard thing is, right now is money is control. Money is like the high, what everybody wants. So a lot of people ain't doing nothing like to share knowledge without some type of compensation. But they don't realize that if we put in the work now, we reap what we sow. It's gonna come back in the end. So like I said, I want to build my community. Representation matters. So like I want the Black lawyers, I want the doctors, I want the Black holistic, the holistic medicine. I want teachers. I want Wall Street. We can get that community. It's just that we have to build it. And a lot of people, they didn't build Rome in a day. So it's gonna take time, especially in this age where we were branded, and then we, like when you say, like, say for instance, we rebranded the culture. I don't think we can rebrand the culture because we are the culture. Since ancient Mesopotamia, the ancient Sumerians, we always, with writing, with arithmetic, philosophy, even now, as you see, like a lot of people steal from us. So saying we can't rebrand something that we naturally produce.
Truth.
Every day.
Damn, I like that. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. No.
But if I had to build my community, like I said, I just want people to like mind state. But I know one for sure is like, I know one thing is like a lot of people is like, well, we need Black businesses, and no, I think that if we have people of different races that are trying to help us, we should let them in too. Like I said, it takes a village, but we can't exclude people because, like I said, for me, I grew up in a town where it's like, straighten up because the white man, or you got to have your beard, no long hair because you got to oppress the white man. But it's like, some white people march with Dr. King. Some, it's not, they're not all bad, but we just need to take the people that's, because they can get us a door. If they have resources we don't, they can open a whole other approach of avenue. We can get connections with them. So I think it's like we just gotta find like-minded people. It don't matter what color, what they think about. Like like-minded people. Hey, this is our goal. We're trying to get to that goal.
No, I agree with that, man. Here we go. I definitely agree with that.
Yes, sir.
I think the only place I differ is when we do let other people in, you got to meet a certain statute.
Okay.
You got to like, and this really goes with our people too, because I say this all the time: all skin folk ain't kinfolk. So even not just with outside people, with our culture, we got to have our culture meet a certain statute. It's like, hey man, some of our own people will come in and try to take from us, much less the people from the outside. You know what I'm saying? So I think once we get our own thing fixed, because once we get it fixed, I'm like, all right, I know these brothers and sisters is down. Cool. Jamal and them over there, that personally Jamal, he ain't messing with it. We've excluded that. Now we can include other people in it. You know what I'm saying? We worked at a certain type of club. Them couples had to be real close to allow some, you know what I'm saying?
You had to be trustworthy.
You had to be trustworthy, or it was going to be some issues in that club. You know what I'm saying? And there really wasn't in that one. I'm going to read this in 1 second. But yeah, let me see this. I was so angry at the government for leasing out my apartment complex, filling it with folks from foreign countries. Don't got me started on something else. Rather than homeless, I just realized recently it's because Americans are getting lazy and don't have good work ethic morals and want better for this. Truly unfortunate. You touched on something right there. I hate making a phone call if I need help with something, or if I got to talk to an operator, and the operator, and I'm not making fun of nobody. This is just true. And I'll call it, hello, this is Jeff. I'm like, motherfucker, this ain't Jeff. This is Hassan. Let's not lie. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. because Jeff could really have that job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying not to help foreign people, but you got to clean up your own backyard before you go to your neighbor's house and be like, hey, man, you need to pick up them leaves. And you ain't cut your grass in 3 months. You see what I'm saying? So I agree, man. When I went to Cali, I thought homelessness was bad out here.
No. Hero?
Oh, man.
I seen the videos, man.
Man, I was in NorCal for the most part. I was in Oakland, Sacramento, the Bay Area, all these little places, San Francisco. For the most part, I was out there. And when I say there's homelessness everywhere, out here in Texas, we can walk outside this building and we might see one homeless person.
Yep.
And he'll be like kind of out of place, like, oh, what you doing over here? You go outside of Cali, it'll be people in the trees.
That bad.
Dude, when I was out there, I was going through my own issues, but I went over there and talked to a few of the people, man. I like chopping it up with people. I like to know people's story. Just because you sitting out here and you ain't got nothing.
Yeah, they're still human.
Exactly.
Still human.
So I'm going to chop it up with you. If I had a little extra money, I'd be like, hey, man, I'll get y'all some chicken or whatever. Let's just chop it up. If you want to talk to me, if not, I totally understand.
Yeah.
But one of the dudes designed Cali. He said, man, I could take you through every sewer, tunnel, building in Cali. I could tell you how to get in and get out. I designed everything. And he was just telling me everything. I wasn't from there, so I wasn't really hip to what he was saying. I knew a couple streets. Long story short, his wife died. His mom died. And every time he tried to catch up, something happened. And living out there in Cali, let me tell you something. Cali is
different months.
Man, for a 1-bedroom, you looking at almost $3,000. Some places you pay $2,500 and you got to share a bathroom with somebody. Like the whole apartment complex shares a bathroom. Like it's crazy. But
so it seemed like New York, right?
I haven't been to New York.
I don't know, like they have like the 15-story buildings and like it's like 4 washing machines at the bottom in the basement.
Yeah.
And they all like they paying like literally like $4,200 for a box.
Yeah.
A small box.
That's how Cali is, man. And the job stuff out there is stupid. When they say you gotta know someone, look, I applied to several jobs. They didn't hire me. I had to go through a temp agency to get a job. At the end of the day, I had to start hustling. I see why everybody out there in Cali hustle. You got to have a hustle out there. You got to have in order to get a house in Cali, in a semi-decent neighborhood, your credit got to be 800. You got to be on your job. Check this out. This is what the guy told me. You have to be on your job at the least 5 years with proof. And you got to be making damn near 7 times the amount.
That's impossible. For the average American,
Dude,
that's impossible.
And the houses out there, $180,000 to live in Greenspoint. I'm sorry, I'm lying. $500,000 to live in Greenspoint for a house out here that would cost $180,000 for a box.
No.
If Malcolm was in Cali with this building, he'd be paying over $1 million damn near. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I agree with that, man. You got me off on something else, but yeah, we which is the whole reason why we should separate with a mindset like that. Like they take places that we could be living in and give it to people from out of state or out of country, which I'm not opposed to helping nobody, but why not help the people who are already here? But yeah. Off topic real quick. Let me ask both of y'all a question. Cause I saw something on the internet, right? I seen someone that went in Walmart and was trying to take some stuff out of Walmart.
Okay.
And not even a security guard, one of the workers tackled the lady. Like, you ain't taking nothing out of here. You ain't taking nothing out of here. What's y'all's opinion of people going into like the grocery stores or Walmart and trying to steal food out of there? Trying to take food without paying for it? Like, what do you think they should be punished? Like, what's your views on that? What's your views on that?
Man, that's hard. I say that's hard because I mean at the same time, you know, we still like one thing I think we lost is like morality, sense of morals. We don't have the code of conduct anymore. So I mean, like you say, stealing is stealing, and we have to uphold it. We can't justify it because we justify it, you have to justify everything else. Like, oh, it's okay to lie. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay to cheat. It's okay. You know, it's okay to steal. If you're not like, I would say in that sense, like I don't think they should get in trouble because I believe every human is entitled to food food isn't, you know what I'm saying? Food is a necessity for everybody. Like
True.
everybody, being born on Earth, there's plants that, we can grow trees, we can grow bushes, we can, import, export. There's multiple avenues, but I don't know. I don't think we should punish. That's why I say like we need to build a smaller community so where we can help them. We can't just rely on government. The government can only, what I'm saying, they can only go so far. So I say, like you said, it's still wrong, but at the same time, we shouldn't really be quick to judge. Like I said, everybody's situation is different. You don't know if that was that's the last person. What if you're trying to feed 4 kids? No food stamps, no income. So yeah, like wrong is wrong, but at the same time, like if we're able to help them, guide them to the right resources, then we should do that.
True. What about you, Malcolm? What you think?
He almost stole the words right out of my mouth. I because that's what we do through our nonprofit. We're restructuring it as we speak. We're restructuring it as we speak so that we'll be able to feed more than we feed now. Right now, we're dealing with a lot of donations, so from citizens, but after we restructure, we'll be able to go to corporate America. And I've always had a dream to ever since I've watched Denzel in American Gangster. I want to be in the back of the 18-wheeler handing out turkeys. I don't care how many it is. I don't care if it's 20 or 2,000. I want to do that because as you said and as somebody else said, Ty Shot Major, there should never be a shortage of food. Never. If you're not handing out anything else, let them stink. Don't give them deodorant or something. But food, it should never be a shortage of that. Never. So I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with everything Gio said. Everything.
Because like I said, a lot of people don't realize like the free free school lunch program that came from the Black Panther Party. They started a free they got together for me, it's like when a lot of people don't realize like a lot of inventions that we as Black people in America have made, a lot of people don't even know about them. You ask anybody who funded the Black Panther Party, people don't know. And it's like, they had a 10-point, they call it a 10-point program. And I really don't, top of my head don't know, but it's like, I know we don't call each other out our name. We want our own businesses, our own right to pass out food, free housing. Because like a lot of people, like I said, we built America, whether people like it or not. I mean, you got white scholars who are writing about it too, not as the same way you have Black scholars, but we built America. But at the same time, it's like we lost in touch. We forgot how powerful we are. And some of the greatest inventions in America come from slaves with nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we are extremely powerful. We just, like I said, we live on an image that other people predispose on us. Like, hey, since Black people still Black, like 13% of the population, blah blah blah, and we like, you know what? We run with that instead of be like, no, that's not us. We just take whatever we fed, and we just we accept handouts as Black people, and we never did that ever in our life, ever before. You have the Black Panther Party, even with gangs. A lot of people don't realize Crips and Bloods and all these were people in the community protecting skin folk. And it's like, so a lot of people just forget that like we are very powerful, and a lot of people don't realize like this is democracy. We run America. You know what I'm saying? Like the power of the people. And people don't realize like voting, like it's crazy because within our community, voting, a lot of African Americans don't vote, but it's like they don't realize like the education system. It's a lot of stuff that we can change as people by the people we elect. But we don't do it because we're not taught it. We're not taught, hey, government. We just taught, Republican, Democrat, and we just go about our day. But a lot of people don't realize, it's way more. It's way more than what you think. It's way powerful. But like the people we put in office dictates everything that happens against all of us, from the programs to the food to the laws. Like who we gotta. I think that we need to get back into like you said, sharing the knowledge, sharing the information. Politics ain't bad. You just gotta learn it. Both parties. Every party gonna be messed up. Some president gonna pick up from the last. The last trash that whatever that president had. We gotta get back into. Hey, this is our country as well as anybody else. We built it. We should have. We have the right to speak up, but we just choose not to.
I'm gonna piggyback off two things y'all both said. First off, with the stealing, I agree with you. You should have consequences for stealing. And I just saw somebody spend 90 days in jail for taking a burrito. I think that the grocery stores steal from the people
Most
because
definitely.
you know what I'm saying.
Most
Like
definitely.
you charging these high prices. I worked in these things. I would see the manifestation list, right, or the manifest or whatever list they have and come in. For example, they might pay 50 cents to $2 per chip bag, right?
Mhm.
If that, really 25 to 75 cents per chip bag, and they get a few, and they go out here and charge you $3-4. They making triple the profit. You know what I'm saying? And in certain neighborhoods, they don't even give certain food to certain people. Like for example, in Acres Home, there wasn't a Walmart until like 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Mhm.
All the food that we got off farms, like people had little small grocery stores. But stealing wise, I think we should call out these stores that steal from us. You know, like HEB and Kroger's. They make millions, if not billions,
Mhm.
off these grocery stores. And if someone takes out of there, they'll put you in jail for just trying to eat. Flip side to that, we do need to start growing our own food and feeding ourselves. We got to stop being so dependent on the government.
See, but this is why for me, like I buy from local consumers. So like my produce, my fruits, I get it. I know downtown they got like a big market, heavily Hispanic, diverse population. But it's like you go if you go to Kroger's, HEB, what they got, Aldi. Some of these fruit have no seeds in them.
Oh, I don't mess with that.
How does that make sense?
How does it grow?
Exactly. So I go support. Like I said, I know there's one they got like Jamaican, like a little Jamaican city downtown. You can buy like they sell like they cut their meat up like their own poultry, chicken, all that.
Mm-hmm.
I try my best to buy from locals because some of these Asian, you got Hispanic. Some of them are like these fruit are really good. And the prices you like if you go to Asian market, I don't know how much you spend on fruits and vegetables, but do it like your first time buying it. Buy it from HEB, buy it from like a local enterprise, and then go buy it from local. You spend much less, and the fruit tastes way better.
And it lasts longer.
It's genetically modified if it does not have seeds in it.
Oh yeah, cloning has been happening since the early 40s.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
If you research that, they've been, and really that's just as far back as I went. So I'm sure somebody else knows something more than what I know. But yeah, all that food you talk about cloning and stuff. What do you think they tried it on first? Damn near every experiment that the oppressor tries is tried on an animal first.
Mhm.
So if you look up animal research, you'll see what they use now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're right. Local markets, I don't know if they still have it. But they got a few local markets out here, man, that y'all can go to. Next time on the show, I'm gonna push them. Matter of fact, that's my mission. For one of the shows coming up, I'm gonna have some local people come out who sell fruits and vegetables. I know there's Eatman's Farm, that he has meat. He has his own cows. I put him on my page. I think I met him once or twice. But Edelman's, he has his own meat. There's another place I can't remember the name of it, but they got chicken and everything. And you're right. Even if you spend a little more, it'll last you longer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you feel different when you eat fruit and you get energy. It's like, damn, I didn't know fruit did this.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, if everybody remembers 1960, back in the day, it was really a farmer's market. You could drive up 1960 and people would have watermelons, apples, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But no, you're right. I would definitely go local. You know what I'm saying? We pay to live on a planet where we were naturally. You were just saying that.
Mhm.
That's what I wanted to rebuttal to. Not rebuttal, but add on. As far as voting and us speaking up, I think we're too dependent on governors and mayors.
Mhm.
I do believe if we don't have the right person in office, they'll start doing stuff to us that we're not aware of. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We were just talking about that earlier. Try eating fruit. Yeah, being a fruitarian.
Yeah, fasting.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's good that I started doing? Not eating right away when you wake up.
Oh, I think we talked about. Yeah. So like I said, a lot of these traditions were never our traditions. So from what I read about this thing that like breakfast, we were only supposed to eat 1 meal, 2 meals a day, but we overload ourselves because, like I said, like a lot of these traditions and a lot of stuff that we do aren't generational traumas, they're generational choices.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of time, like you got to think about it. If you get a small population of slaves that come to America with a predominantly white white enforced population, some influence is going to cripple down, you know.
Exactly.
So like I said, we still follow all these traditions that weren't meant for us.
Exactly.
And that's why I tell people, like, people come to me and like one thing I hate was like happy Thanksgiving. That wasn't happy.
No,
like,
it wasn't.
If you know the real story,
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? That was never happy.
That was not. Nobody was happy there.
If you know, like I said, a lot of people, ignorance is bliss. And then, but I said, for being a leader is really hard because the more you know, the more it's like the more suffer you have. You start learning, like, hey, Christmas. I mean, like Christmas. If you learn about pagan, what the pagans did for Christmas, Easter. There's a lot of stuff that we follow that was never us. So like I said, it's a cultural identity. We really don't know who we are as a people. That's why we having so much trouble.
I think the first thing we need to do in building this community is identify ourselves. We got to identify ourselves. And then, like you said, one, we are the culture. It's in our bloodline. It's in our mind. You know what I'm saying? It's cementing through us. It's in our semen. Anybody catch that? Anyway, so it's cementing through us, and it's cemented in us. You see what I'm saying? So I think what we first need to do, sit down with those who are serious, which this is phase one, by the way. If anybody's feeling this, always feel free to hit me up, and we can actually do this. Sit down and figure out who we want to be. We forget that brown people that look like you and I here, Malcolm's the darkest one. He got that beautiful blackness on him. But all of us in here, there was so, like you were saying, the Sumerians, the Mesopotamians, the Aztecs, the so-called indigenous. All these people were us. We had so many different versions of us around the world. You see what I'm saying? You got the Jamaicans over there. If you research linguistics, the study of language, you realize that English was a slave language. And what slaves do is work for somebody. So it was a worker's man language. So if I went to Africa and I didn't speak French or Swahili or Dutch or whatever, we could speak a type of English so that we can communicate. You see what I'm saying? So study that. Also, like you were saying to the slaves, we look at it through the oppressor's eyes. All of us weren't slaves. Some of us, our families, you brought up Rosewood. Some of us, our families got slaughtered, right? And we were forced to live in this system. Most white banks that started off the blood of all. Think about it. If you research most of these banks and when they started, they started a few years after black towns were slaughtered. You see what I'm saying? When did some of these? That's why most white stories or his story started in the 1800s, late 1700s. That's when they started slaughtering stuff, knocking down temples, because people realize we got pyramids over here.
Yeah,
we got them in Alabama. Shit, we got them in Texas. Go to Austin. You know, in places like that, you got hills and stuff and all the other stuff. Anyway, they slaughtered our people and then they started their culture, right? And I'm about to add into what you were saying about politics and everything, how we need to get involved. If we sit down and have a conversation about where's our culture at, where do we want to take it, and how are we going to take it there, that would create an identity. You see what I'm saying? Then we wouldn't need to use their political system. They would have to battle our political system. That's where you get self-policing from, getting the doctors and everything like that together. If we had our own type of insurance program, hey, if you're in it with us, the doctor gonna come visit you and make sure you're good. And like you said, right now, money is the thing that make everybody move. So until we go back to barter and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I'm a doctor, I'm a farmer. Hey, I'll keep your land up if you keep my health up. Until we go back to that, I guess for right now, we got to use money. But yeah, I think we do need to get more involved in politics, whether it be destroying it or creating our own lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I said, all this is a knowledge-based issue. Because if you don't know history, then you don't know anything. You're just a leaf on a branch that doesn't know he's part of a tree. And I seen another thing too that said, what it says, like your history is your present, and like the people don't realize like we were inventors, we were doctors, we were lawyers, we were, we controlled Wall Street, we did all that, but it's I don't know, like well, let's say Ty said it's a different lifestyle. Like the rules unchanged, dramatically.
Yeah, and we got to start creating our own rules, man. One thing I respect about the story of Jesus, he didn't work with the Romans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I forgot what it was, or the Gentiles, but we got to start creating our own rules, and we can't create rules. When I used to join these organizations back in the day, these so-called pro-black organizations, they would use stuff like the Panthers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're gonna have our 10-point system, right? Hey, I like that, Chris. I even bartered with tenants to cover their rent. Back in the day, you could do that. My dad used to work at an insurance agency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Parents got divorced. Sometimes he couldn't afford the rent. He would help people read through their insurance contract. He used to work at State Farm and help them get pay or not pay, or show them where they would. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that no more. And in return, he either be able to stay somewhere, get some extra food. Like he was low key an insurance agent for the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not just for the hood, but for anybody that can help us out. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, I know how this insurance thing works. I work for one of the biggest firms. Mm-hmm. Tell me what happened, and I'll tell you where to look in the contract. But creating our own. I don't think we can have a community until we create our own. I think that, like you said, if we don't know history, and even if we don't know right now,
mm-hmm.
if we don't know what's going on right now, we could be fighting something that we don't need to fight,
mm-hmm.
or we could be creating something that's already created, just because we out of the loop. So I think we definitely, a solution is, and not on TV or not on the internet, but somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't need to post this every time we do it. You know what I'm saying? We don't gotta. We had a great meeting. This is what we you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't got to do that, man. Let's just sit down with brothers and sisters and be like, I'm tired of paying rent.
Mm-hmm.
How we going to fix this? Malcolm always says this when we talk. You see a lot of the Mexicans staying in one house and everybody just paying rent in the house until everybody come up. They come in there with old Corollas and leave there with big time trucks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to start doing that. But yeah, creating this community, man, we definitely got to, first off, look at what happened before, and then see what's happening now,
mm-hmm.
and then create our own little strategy, and then eventually just break off from what we're doing right now. Because obviously, man, the government ain't helping us.
Nah.
Society ain't giving us no. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We're going in the same circle. What was you about to say? My bad.
No, I was saying, like I said, it's everything. Like it all revolves back to a knowledge-based issue. Because like if people think about it, the first thing they didn't let slaves do was learn how to read. We learn how to read, we use the same system they put on us against them. But like I tell people, like times have changed. Now we have more opportunities than ever. You know what I'm saying? Like representation, I say black presidents, we got black lawyers. Atlanta has one of the biggest black entrepreneurs, who make like a lot of money, but it's like they don't want us to, how can I say? But the easy way to explain this is we just got to get back to knowing like, hey, we can do stuff. Like we are not scared no more. You know what I'm saying? Like black people, we are vocal now. We like, no, we ain't going for that. We don't accept the N-word terms no more. You know what I'm saying? Like we able to stand up for ourselves. But at the same time, we are fighting, like we are fighting them. We're trying to put the same thing they did to us on them instead of just, hey, we know better now. Let's do better. Let's build something now. You know what I'm saying? Like we know tax codes. We know what you call that? People who sell houses.
Real estate.
You know what I'm saying? We know real estate now. I know a lot of people out there. We got black vets. We got black dentists. We got but the problem is that a lot of people are trying to fight the system instead of, hey, we need to build our own system.
True. Okay, question to you, man. Did you always think like this?
To be honest, I would say yes. No. I was ignorant. I was very ignorant.
Okay.
Because like I said, I grew up in the cliche conditions. You grew up in the hood, and I was just always angry. So my first response was, why should I give a damn about somebody else when I'm going through something? They'd be like, my mom would be like, we were homeless one time, but we were still giving homeless people food. And I look at my mom and I'll be like, why we hungry too?
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. I say like my mom always preached, which I I'm glad she did it, but she was always more of live simply so others can simply live. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like if you're blessed with something, bless somebody else with it.
Yeah.
Share with somebody else. You never know the circumstance that got him in that. We all one paycheck away from being homeless.
Man.
So we don't know what can happen. So it's
True.
like, my mom was always one of those, like, she believed in karma heavy.
Hmm.
You reap what you sow. Whatever you put into the universe, that's what you're gonna get back.
Hmm.
And like Nas said, a lot of people, what they do is a lot of people like to brag about what they do to people. So like for me, I feed homeless people every time I see them.
Yeah.
Like me and you go to the job, we give them waters or
That's
fruits.
true. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like I don't like to broadcast it because you don't know what if that person didn't want to be seen. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
But a lot of people, and especially what I see it now, is a lot of people that are in charge of, like, the pastors, whatever. They want to protest what they do for the community.
Don't get me
instead
started
of-
on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, we know better now, but we're just not using it. We wanna fight them because hey, y'all treated us like crap for 400 plus years,
Yeah.
and from slavery to civil rights movement,
Mhm.
to all that. So it's like we're trying to, hey, y'all did this to us, we're gonna do it back to y'all, instead of be like, hey, we should never forget what happened to us. But
Yeah.
we're better than that to know we will never get to that level ever again. But we're not playing on the same play field as them.
Yeah.
We're so angry. A lot of us are angry.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's all a knowledge-based issue. If you understand knowledge, it helps so much.
That's true. Okay, so let me ask you a question. When
Mhm.
you were in there, what made you wanna? You always tell me where you're at right now is not aligned with what you want to do.
Mhm.
What helped you get to that mindset? Like, what made you like, man, I need to change? What made you change your thought process in life?
Well, to be honest, what really changed my mindset is, I don't know, at a young age, I had a sense of empathy for people. I got a sense of enjoyment from helping people. It's me seeing, like, say you don't know how to read and I teach you how to read. My thing was like, man, what I'm saying, we did this together.
Yeah.
So I feel like that had been my purpose. My whole life, I thought purpose was what purpose can be. It's very hard to describe because it can happen anytime. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like my sense of helping our people.
Mhm.
Like I was thankful I had I didn't have a dad, but I had strong Black women who still play that role. I had strong male figures in the community, from the principal to the uncles.
Huh.
So for me, what aligned me is I know my purpose is, if I get enjoyment from helping people, I know that's what God put in me. Like I said, my favorite quote: "Live simply so others can simply live." So for me, it's like, if I can help anybody in the smallest, I get pleasure, I get enjoyment from it. So I just know, hey, I feel like I know better, I should do better. I shouldn't just fall into what people tell me I should do. It's like, no, like I said, that job, it really don't align with my spirit, because it's like I'm supporting the same cause that's dramatically hurting the culture.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, I don't know. I try to stick to what I feel is right, but at the same time, I wish I had more Black figures to guide me. Because I'm open, like, what I'm saying, one thing about me is I love criticism. Like, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me I'm doing it wrong. Because you can't, like, a lot of people, what they do now is assume. They assume you should know.
That's
like,
true.
oh, we've been together 20 years. My husband should know. No. People change.
Yeah.
People change every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Life comes at us in different directions, different circumstances. We both may be Black, but your situation is different from mine.
True.
You grew up in Houston, I grew up in Louisiana.
Yeah.
So already it's a cultural based issue.
True.
City boy versus country.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time it's just we gotta communicate more. But for me, it's my purpose. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's because I think I just love watching Revolutionaries. I love watching Bobby Seale, Huey P. Newton, Malcolm X. Well, I forgot his name. But yeah, I love seeing predominant figures, and I feel like that's what I'm meant to be. But I let myself go. I doubt myself more than I doubt myself more than anybody. I'm my biggest hater. So it's hard for me. That's what I say. I wish I had more people like, hey, and I'm glad that even in the Army, I have predominant Black male figures in authority who'd be like, hey, brother, like, what I'm saying? Like, one thing is the military policy on haircuts is still rooted in the 60s about how, like, grooming standards for Black males. But I had some, some black officers come to me like, hey, read that handbook, print it out. You can have the curls. It has to be a certain inch. You can have the design. It got to be a certain inch. So don't let nobody tell you. One thing they say is, hey, we're not back on the block. That's their way of saying like, hey, So like I said, every time I met somebody older than me, it's like, hey, knowledge is power. Gain that knowledge. Read, because if you know, and like if you like say if you true to yourself and know yourself, ain't nothing anybody can tell you can deter you away from. You know what I'm saying? So like, if I know I'm not stupid, I know in my right mind, hey, God gave me knowledge. God gave me wisdom. Anything you tell me, hey, you stupid, I shouldn't get mad at you because I know better. True. You don't know me. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what I do. So, like I said, for me, it's just gaining knowledge. That's what I'm big on. That's why I say I love teaching, because I love teaching these kids like, hey man, you got to be vocal. You got to tell people, hey, this is right, this is wrong. Right now, everybody following what's popping. They ain't trying to follow the truth.
That's true.
Everybody want to be the trendsetter, but it's like, what I'm saying, a lot of people, and I feel like in our community, a lot of people don't want to be led. Everybody want to be Malcolm X, but nobody ready to put in the Malcolm X work.
True.
You know what I'm saying? True. Because everybody want that public. Everybody want publicity. Everybody want that image. So I feel like a lot of us, especially as like black men, our egos are too high to, hey son, you doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to take and it's crazy because a lot of us grew up without fathers. That's another thing within the black community. But what I learned too in the army is, when people are like, oh, you don't have a dad. When I joined the army, I've started seeing like, different places. And that's how I know like certain places put these images in our head to control us. I've seen more black fathers than what they've been saying on TV. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, Atlanta has one of the biggest entrepreneurs with black businesses. I didn't know that. I went to Atlanta, I seen black hair stores, holistic. You got black, like they selling like natural roots, natural medicines and all that. So like I said, we living off an image that has been predisposed. We have been living off an image that has been put on us, but that's not really what we are. We just going off of what we hear, what we see.
That's true. That's true. I do agree that they do say a lot of. I agree with pretty much everything you said. We do have an image. We got about 10 minutes left. We do got an image that we got to stop believing. I was in a U-Haul store somewhere, and I'm playing with my child, and the white lady come up to me and say, "You don't see a lot of that." I thought, looking back, see a lot of what? What are you talking about? People in line? Like, no, you don't see a lot of fathers. And I'm looking at her like, do you mean black fathers? Because one, I had my father in my life. He was in my life. You know what I'm saying? My cousins had their fathers in their lives. So I think that and some of us like to adapt that. I had a partner who had both of his parents, and they was married. Like I had spent the night at his house and everything. Cooked for him, was giving him opportunities. But he still wanted to live that life, that street life. You know what I'm saying? Like, was still like, oh, I got to sell this shit to make me some money. For what? Your dad just gave both of us $150. Why are you going to buy a Zip? You know what I'm saying? So I think we got to stop adapting or adopting or both this image. It used to be cool to be a doctor, man. It used to be cool to be an inventor or a scientist. That used to be cool. For some reason, when you go to jail now or prison, now you're cool. You know what I'm saying? When you slinging some type of drug, now you're cool. I remember the drug dealers would tell you not to be drug dealers. They be like, man, I didn't go to college. They make an excuse like, man, I'm doing this is wrong. This is all I know how to do. I got to do better. Them was conversations they would have with not all of them. Some of them would try to manipulate the kids. They'd be like, yeah, you do. You get you some money. You get women like me preying on little girls and shit. That kind of shit that would happen. I used to hate that. When I got older, I was always like, hey, man, you're 33 years old pulling girls from high school.
Sad.
When you're young, you're like, man, I wish I could pull these girls in school like he does. No, he's manipulating. He's pulling up in the night. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole other story. But I do think we got to stop adopting this image. Devoted myself in my line of work, healthcare after injury, gave it up hard. I continue educating myself. That's good. And we got to do that in our culture. We got to do it. We got to start educating ourselves and saying, hey, it's cool to come up with a cure for cancer or learn what cancer really is so we can find different ways to battle it. You know what I'm saying? You trying to be a cardiac? I forgot that second word.
Cardiac sonography.
There we go. A photography of the heart, and you trying to do that. I think we need more of those teachers. We need to make that popular again. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree. Knowledge is the key, and I definitely agree. Like we saying today, man, evolutionary mindset. From you to go being ignorant and going to the army and leaving there with the mindset that you have, say you want to be a revolutionary. You got to spread that. I'm not saying you haven't, because I know you have. We've had conversations, but for the sake of the show, anybody with this same thought process, I've seen Ty asking some questions. I'm sorry, Shy asking some questions. Ty Shy, and I've seen Chris. Chris is always on here, man. Always saying she's. By the way, Chris, how's it going with the family? But people, yeah, no. That's exactly what it is, man. As a culture and just as a people all together, we got to stop glorifying bullshit. It's not cool to sell dope. It's not cool to stand on the block all day and you're 30, 40 years old just standing there talking to a bunch of dudes. That's low-key homosexual. If y'all know what I'm talking about, man.
No, I'm agreeing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bunch of dudes acting hard in front of other dudes. 50 guys trying to holler at one female walking by. You don't help her with her kids. You don't pump her gas for her. You're not trying to put some change on her gas. You see she got her kids with her. You're not trying to carry her groceries out. You're standing there asking for money. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it pisses me off. I'm in gas stations all day, every day. Like I'm sure y'all are. Pisses me off. I'm sitting in the car or pumping my gas. I have a habit. After I pump my gas, before I take off, I'm gonna doodle a little bit on my phone.
Yeah.
So I don't do so much when I'm driving. I'll be sitting there and it never fails. Never fails. The man is sitting in the car doing whatever he's doing, and the female's pumping the gas. I'm like,
where they do that at?
Well, I refuse. I mean, I hate it. Sometimes I forget to pump it, and she has to do it. But I'm saying if I'm with her, that's not happening.
Nah,
that's not happening.
That's sad, man. Look, I've seen women changing tires, and the guy was in the car.
Man,
it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Tough love and self-care. She did say she was gonna take her little vacation and make a move. Yeah, I hope it gets better. I'll tell you about that later on. But yeah, she came on here about the family. I was just saying if the relationship got stronger or something. I was hoping it did. But
that was the touch.
Love it. I was the change. She said what? Sister K, how you doing? Love it. I was the. Oh man. Don't put your dude's name on here, man. Don't do that. That's not cool. Because I had to clown him, man. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Men, MEN, do not let your woman do nothing on the car. If you got to get on YouTube and look at it, my oldest dad was not. I'm not car savvy either at all. I'm not the biggest mechanic, but I'll be damned if my woman about to change a tire. I can at least change a tire. I might not be the best at changing oil, but I'm going to get under there and let that. It might squirt on me at first because I keep, you know what I'm saying? But she's not doing that. But yeah, man, you got to stop doing that, man. I mean, look. Let me say this real quick. Sometimes the woman might be more car savvy. I can't put, because I don't want to down a brother, though, man. I don't want to down him if he don't know how to do certain things. Because all men ain't Mr. Fix It. Sometimes the women know how to fix stuff better than the man. But just for safety reasons. I don't know, man. Maybe I was just raised different than that. But I know all men are not car savvy, so I'm not going to knock your man for that. My bad for saying that. I'm not knocking him. He might have totally screwed up that tire if he changed it. But at least help. At least let me hold the wrench for you. Let me hold the socket wrench for you.
Yeah, because that tire is not light.
At all.
At least pick the tire up for her, man.
You know what I'm saying? Pump it up for her.
Man, hey,
take the sockets out. Something. But don't be sitting in the passenger seat and she's in the trunk rolling the tire around, taking it off. Like, do something.
I just think like a lot of men are intimidated by their women. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
it's
a whole
like
other story.
A lot of men don't. I think a lot of men don't have a purpose. You know, a lot of men, like, there's no more people telling the man, like, hey, you got to get out and do these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, these men are trying to compete on the same level as women. And it's like, we all have different roles. Not saying, I'm not saying that a woman should carry more of a role, a man should carry more of a role, but people got to realize, it's a duality in everything. It's okay to be masculine, but sometimes you got to you got to be able to cry, let it out. You got to be able to conform to your children. The same way as a woman, like, it's okay to be, it's okay to be the feminine, but at the same time, like, if I'm going from home, you got to take that role up and still, and still discipline. You got to take that role up and like, hey, I love y'all. But so it's a duality. It's like masculine and feminine energy and everything in the world.
Yeah.
But you just got to know when is appropriate to use it.
True.
But
excuse me. Round of applause. Round of applause. Give him a bow one time.
Here we go. Get the bow. Sound like the Grammys over here. No, I agree with that, man. Okay, we're at that point. Let's leave a lasting thought real quick off what you just said. Because in order to build a community, our relationships got to be good. Because I had a show on this relationships to know your role, man. And you're right. If you're in a relationship, and this goes for boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, partner, homeboys, whatever, learn your identity in that relationship. You know what I'm saying? What are you good at? What am I good at? And like Lady K was saying, if she's good at changing the tire, show him. You know what I'm saying? If something happens to the tire, say, hey man, get out here. I'm about to show you how to do this. Just like if I'm leaving the house right now, my wife ain't gonna sit over here and say, oh, wait till your papa come home, he's gonna get you. She gonna handle it her way. My uncle saw all the girls, as long as you check the oil, we good. Oh yeah, I feel that. But we gotta do that, man. You saying that, we gotta teach our kids, and then Malcolm, I'm gonna cut it off. We gotta teach our kids basic things like that. Especially the young ladies, man. We can't let these ladies keep going out here and not knowing how to pick a man, not knowing how to take care of themselves, having to be dependent on a man. Like, oh, he's gonna protect me. He's gonna do. We got to teach them. Hey, when you go out here, there are pedophilic people who are going to try and take advantage of you, whether you're old or young. Some men are going to prey on you. You got to have the mental capacity and the physical capacity. And if you can't beat them by a gun, if you can't beat them by hands, pull the gun and the knife out. You know what I'm saying?
With that, I tell people like all the time, like, ask questions. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like, like, if you date somebody that says a woman, you're like, okay, hey, what's your goal on family? The minute she says something that you don't like, hey, thank you for your time, baby. Look, I love you, but move on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just go beyond the physical. You got to ask these questions because a lot of people, like I told you, remember, like last time I told you, like, nobody gonna come to you and tell you they're a liar. Nobody gonna come and tell you they're a cheater. Sometimes you have to watch and what people say and what they do. You can have somebody who be like, oh man, I love black people. I love black people. They see a homeless person, ew, get away from me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So like,
that's
sometimes
true.
you gotta watch. A lot of people, everybody's an actor. When you see somebody, they put on the best character that they want you to believe them. But you gotta watch because people. One thing we do as humans, we slip up. You can't, you know what I'm saying? We tend to slip up.
Yeah.
So I tell people like, for these women to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? If you want, and I believe like we spend more time debating on what a good man should be instead of showing what a good man should be.
True.
And like women, it's like likewise. So I said, ask these questions. Hey, what's your goal in life? What's your this and that? Just because they look good, looks can only go so far. We all got to get old and baggy one day.
True.
But you just, like I said, you need to find the like-mindedness. Like I said, some people be like, oh, I shouldn't go 50-50. You should go whatever that works for you and your partner.
Real.
You know what I'm saying? For me,
real.
I'm the primary breadwinner in my house, but at the same time, I still allow my woman to do stuff. Because she has to feel special just as much as I'm feeling special, So it's like I said, it's never, and I learned that even though we was at a swingers club, I learned that with someone, because one thing they had was trust. And one thing they did was communicate. Like some of these people they gave a look off, like I know my wife. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I know that look like, hey, she ain't messing with her. I know that look like, hey, babe, it's time to go.
Yeah.
See, and these are people that learn their partners. A lot of people don't want to learn. A lot of people just expect people to be like, hey, I want a Prince Charming and they expect them to be Prince Charming. Oh, I want a wife that stay home and cook, but not knowing that that's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you gotta give her that break. Sometimes you gotta give him that break.
True.
But it's all about you gotta ask these questions. You gotta question everything
That's
because
true.
not every advice you get is good advice, and not all criticism is bad criticism.
True.
See, so
True.
Constructive.
Yeah, it got to be constructive.
Ask questions.
And you got to learn how to speak that person's language.
Mhm.
We do got to bring the real men back. A lot of us don't embrace manhood anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's not like we were talking about earlier, man. A lot of us don't think it's cool to take care of our women.
Mhm.
And like you said, to allow our women to take care of us.
Mhm.
A lot of us don't ask those questions. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on? Or what could I do to improve this?
Mhm.
We're automatically assuming. Just like sometimes women assume, men assume too. Man, I've been with this girl 15 years. She should know how I am. No, she shouldn't.
Mhm.
You have to continuously communicate. When you change your oil one time, it's not good for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
The engine's like, oh, come on, time, change your oil again. And humans is the same way. We got to change that oil. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep the car up. So yeah, and that goes in every relationship, man. We gotta to bring it all in that we was talking about. First off, do you want to say something else, man? Is there anything you doing you want to push? Is there something you want to say? Yes, there is, Gio. Gio's so humble. No, I'm good.
Nah.
I don't want to say nothing.
I mean, no, because like I said, I think the tongue is powerful, and I have the vision, but I'm not trying to, my mom always told me that, like, whenever you speak it, the devil can hear you the same way as God can hear you.
True.
Because he has a
True.
presence, when,
True.
I don't know the Bible story, but I know when God kicked him out of heaven, he came to earth.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, for me, until I have the plan ready, I'm not going to speak on it because it's like I'm protecting that plan. I'll tell you, but sometimes, like you said, we can't tell everybody everything.
True.
So
True.
I have the plan. I just need more like-minded people who are ready for change, who are tired of the same old, same old.
True.
Mhm.
True. All right, Chris, have a good one. Appreciate you. Glad you joined in. Appreciate you, Lady. What was that? Lady J. K.
Jones.
K Jones. Appreciate you, K Jones. I ain't seen your face in a while. I see her pop up. And Shy, I appreciate you coming on here, my man. I don't know if Chosen's still on here. Appreciate you. Look, Shy had my mind rolling at the beginning of the show. I'm like, yo, you asking some good questions. So, but yeah, that's tonight's show, man. I say this all the time, but like Gio said, my Instagram is NRZ8556. Rely Show, Rely Radio on Instagram, and then my name on Facebook is NR Zulu. If you want to build, hit me up, man. If you're trying to just talk and get it on camera,
Mhm.
the only reason I'm doing this show the way I'm doing it is to attract those who want to do something. And any real work we do is going to be real work we do.
Touch on that right quick.
So,
and how did you come to that mindset? People who want to do something is who you're trying to attract. Why?
I'm not about talking, man. I'm not about to sit over here and just talk. I don't want to have a good convo.
Mhm.
If we have a good convo, let's follow it up. I don't want to talk about how good we can eat. Man, some pie sure sounds good. Man, you're right. Let's go.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I want to actually do it. Excuse me. So this show is, anytime I do a show, is I'm spreading that energy. I'm putting that energy out there, man. Anybody who want to do something, you can hit me up. We'll talk. Here, hold on real quick.
Bless your mind.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's the first time I sneeze on the air. Harley was that's somebody you know?
Yeah, that's one of my Army friends.
Oh, okay.
Well, I say he's my brother. I'll tell a lot of people I don't have friends.
Yeah.
Friends change on you, but he's one of my brothers, yeah.
What's up, brother Harley? Yeah, always great hearing your advice. Hey, man, I say the same thing. Look, he told me something about the manager up there at the spot, and it actually saved him for at least a couple weeks. But anyway, yeah, Gio always got great advice. But the show was to put that energy out there, man. Whenever you hear us talking, I always got people that's genuine. I don't always say real, but genuine, because everybody in a way is a real human being. But is you genuine?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Is you really about that? And this show was it's good conversation, but I need builders. people that want to do something. And like I said, you don't got to be a. If you go look on my page, I got phase 1. I'm looking for teachers, people that want to teach stuff. If you know how to fix a car, if you know how to cook, if you know how to grow plants, if you know how to wash a window, if you know about the body, the anatomy and everything, and you're willing to teach some kids and some adults, let's do it, man. Let's bring it. If you also want to build, let's sit down and talk. I don't got to do it my way. I understand my way is not the only way. And I want to hear other people's way. Let's talk, man. I'm a leader, but I'm also a follower. So this is what the Rely Show is for. I need fellow leaders, but everybody can't be the chief. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So I am going to take hold of this. I'm not going to let everybody come in and run it because some people is in there for ego. I don't have an ego, man. I'm going to say this real quick and I'm going to get off. Malcolm always say, Inyar Zulu's the star of the show. My mission is the star of the show. I'm just the messenger. You see what I'm saying? So the mission is the star of the show. You know what I'm saying? Rebooting and uniting lost energy. So that energy that was in you, if you want to find it and you want to do something, hit me up. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? And I'll post my flyer back on there again. I'm getting the brothers together, the sisters. If you got kids and you a parent, let's get the families together so the kids can start telling you how they feel in a safe environment. And when you go back to the house, you can fix some problems so your kids don't grow up not liking family like a lot of us are right now. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Dad, I feel like when you do this, you make me feel this way. Sometimes when you're at the house, you can't express that. You see what I'm saying? So I want to get families together. Even if it's your cousin and your brother and your mother. Hey, cousin, man, you called me the other day and I felt this way. And I haven't been able to tell you that. Let's get it out on the table. No, it's not going to be for people to see on video. Because I just want results in the family, man. I just want us to walk out here with a better energy. So I'm starting these groups up. Hit me up if you want to do it. They'll start when the people come. But yeah, this is what the Rely Show is for, man. If you want to build a community, let's get together, man. Let's get together and do this, man. I'm gonna end it by saying this. I appreciate Gio coming on the show.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
I'm sure you could. Do you want to put your Facebook out there, people to hit you up?
Oh yeah.
Do you want to keep it private?
I don't mind.
Okay, go ahead and tell them what's up.
So my Facebook is Giovanni Sorrell. It's GIOVANNI. SERIALE.
You got it down there, right?
SERIALE.
Is it missing a V?
It's SERIALLE.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get the Giovanni right? Is that right?
Yeah, GIOVA.
Okay, cool.
So like I said, for me, it's like one thing is like
on Facebook and Instagram.
Just on Facebook. GIOVA. V instead of an N.
Mm-hmm. Oh hell.
So like I said, for me, it's like one thing, like you said, building a team is just that we can't. People are gonna talk about us until the day we die. You know, if they talked about Jesus, we ain't no better. So like I said, we can't be afraid that hey, if we have that mission, other people gonna come in there, they gonna tell us, hey, you should run it this way, you should run it that way. As long as we stay true and like you said, genuine. As long as we have the purpose and it's genuine, then I think, hey, you know what I'm saying, we can get something going. But
I dig it. Gio just stopped when he done. His thought stopped, he stopped. He was like, yeah, but hey, that's how you know you're genuine though, man. Look, it's a genuine dude, man. He wouldn't be on here if he wasn't. So y'all hit up Gio. If you feel comfortable talking to him, you can hit me up if you feel comfortable talking to me. After I go off, there's gonna be some music playing, R&B, rap, stuff from the 70s. I'm taking it off my that's mouth stage right there. Every time you say this, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start pushing it out. Y'all listen to Real Talk Radio. Mal. Hey, real quick, Mal, tell them about I didn't get on the last show. Tell them about your nonprofit.
We're transitioning right now. Our nonprofit currently is called Houston Angels.
Okay.
But because of some legal issues, we're transitioning over to Real Talk Angel Foundation. And our foundation will stick to its roots and feed the homeless, clothe the homeless, house the homeless and the needy. But we're branching off as well because my history includes, incarceration. So I know what incarcerated individuals need when they get out. I know some of the knowledge that families need
Been dealing with
when they're having loved ones come home, whether it's men or women or children. I know these things because I live that life. So our nonprofit will also be touching incarcerated people's lives and their families' lives, because those guys, those men and women coming home need some things. They need more than prayer. They need more than a house in the hood where they want you to live, so you can contribute to recidivism. That's why they place you back in the hood, so you can stay in the system. So they need more than, welcome home, son. Welcome home, nephew. No, they need more than that. So our nonprofit will be helping them, feeding the homeless, housing, clothing the homeless. We'll also be delving into. I don't want to talk too much about certain things right now, but follow us on Instagram and Facebook under Real Talk Angel Foundation. We're just waiting on one more piece of paperwork to come through, and that's our tax exemption paperwork. Once that comes through, we're going to start making a bunch of changes in our community. So y'all hook up with us, link with us. We're all about. We're just like in your. I hate talking about it. I like being about it. I got like 2 T-shirts, at home that say it. Don't talk about it, be about it. And that's what we're about at Real Talk. We're down to earth people, and we just want to make a change for the better. So y'all give us a follow and follow our movement and join us. We'll be looking for volunteers. We'll be looking for people who want to collaborate on our movement. And like I said earlier in the show, eventually we want to give out. I don't care if it's 20 or 20,000. I said 2,000 earlier. 20 or 20,000 turkeys for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. We want to make sure everybody has food. We want to make sure the children have toys. We want to make sure, as I said a few minutes ago, make sure people who are incarcerated don't contribute to recidivism anymore. If you don't know what recidivism is, that means you're contributing to the system. You're going back into the system. Am I defining that correctly?
No, you got it. You got it pretty much. Yeah, you got it.
You're contributing to recidivism. You're contributing to the system. You're helping the system incarcerate people. I'm just trying to break it down in layman's terms. Don't contribute to that. How do you contribute to that? You contribute to recidivism by not giving a person who's been incarcerated something to use or utilize to fight for the freedom with, like a job, like a place to stay, like a good credit, like knowing how the tax brackets go and how their credit lines up. And they need to know these things so that they know, okay, I got a chance. I don't have to go back to robbing and stealing and selling dope. There's too many snitches out here. So let me do something where somebody can't snitch on me on. Parents, wives, girlfriends, start hooking your man or your girlfriend's or your wife or your husband's credit up now. So when they come home, they have a place to stay.
Damn.
That's what Real Talk 100 Foundation is going to be pushing, because I don't want to contribute to recidivism. I stayed out since 2007.
Yeah.
I got out June 2007 after 16 years flat. Never went back. And I want those men and women to know that they can do the same thing.
Real quick, Malcolm, we're going to get off.
Okay.
Do you think it's cool when they come out and they got them on the side of the road passing out flyers? Like the former prisoners, or, do you agree with that?
I don't know. I can't say that I'm against it, because I don't know. I see them all the time. You talking about for churches? And stuff. I don't know. I've never delved into it deep enough to see what the movement's actually about. So I can't talk down on them.
Yeah.
But from the outside looking in, I think they're trying to help by just keeping them involved in something positive.
Okay.
From the outside looking in, I've never looked from the inside out. So
okay,
I mean, if you have more knowledge on that, let me know, and I'm totally against it if they screwing over them people.
No, sometimes they don't pay them nothing.
Don't pay them
They'll
nothing.
be out there and they'll get $20 for the day, and they'll be out there all day, and they're making them have to go back out and hustle even more.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And the churches will pay them next to nothing, and they'll be like, yeah, come over here. We're trying to help people. And some of them don't even get the help that they're offering other people. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I didn't know if you knew about that. But yeah, I talked to a couple of them. They said, man, they ain't. And that's why I'm doing this too, man. I hate when I talk to them and I don't got nothing to offer.
Right.
I hate that, man. It tears me up on the inside.
Right.
Like, yo, I need to do something to where when you tell me that, I'd be like, come with me.
Right.
Khalid Muhammad, real quick, used to get homeless people, and the homeless, he would give them the money. He said, but in order to give me this money, give me your story. And the dude would give him the story. He said, man,
Right.
he said, do you know that you are a black king? Do you know that you are this and that? And that's how he recruited people to come work for him. That's why a lot of them was so loyal to him. Because they would ask him, like his closest general would be like, hey man, why you got these stinky people in the car? And Khalid would take him, give him a shower, give him some food. He said, man, would you want this? I can give you this for a day, or I can give you some knowledge that'll last, like you were saying about the horse. I can give you some knowledge that'll last you the rest of the life. And that's how he recruited. And I feel like some people manipulate the prisoners when they come out. But that's a whole nother story.
They do.
They totally manipulate them.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll let you do this, and maybe you can stay in this house, in this apartment that ain't for human beings to stay in.
It's not. It should never be like that, and I hate it. When those men and women come home, they should come home to. They should be comfortable.
Yeah.
They should not have to stay in the hood. If they know damn well that's gonna get me in trouble.
Right next to the shotgun house, right next to the trap house.
Right next to the trap house. Prostitutes walking by. If they're on crack, the dope dealers selling drugs right in front of them. That's going to encourage them to slip right back into that lifestyle, and that is wrong. So that's what we're going to be standing for. Making sure. Okay, it's fine to live in a halfway house, but why the hell does it have to be in my hood?
Yeah,
I love Fifth Ward, but damn it, I'm not going back there because that's why I got in trouble at. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll go right there right now.
Yeah.
17 years after the fact.
Yeah.
Because I'm strong.
Yeah.
Now, I've been out here. I know I can make it. But a man who's not sure, a man or a woman who's not sure of themselves when they get out, and you put them right back in the hood, they're going to try. They're going to try, but damn, you gave them a job that's going to pay you minimum wage. They got to pay house note. They got to pay their house note. They got to pay a car note. They got to take care of the kids on minimum wage.
And tell them this.
So guess what's going to happen? They're going to go right back to slanging dope and robbing.
Exactly. And if y'all don't know this, you got to pay your PO.
Yeah.
When you come back.
And
you got to pay them.
And I forgot the other word. You got to pay your PO and you have to pay restitution.
Yeah.
If you wreck somebody, say you was a drunk driver and I totaled out your car and caused you pain and suffering. I have to pay restitution for that.
Exactly.
It's just an example. It's restitution on several different But anyway, that we're going to be helping with all that. We don't want to ignore our commenters. Keep spreading awareness. Thanks for another incredible show. Great wisdom.
Oh, Sister Lyric, what's up? Yeah.
And Gio, she's tuned in all the way from Washington, sir. She's Chris Spice Knight. You pay when you're locked up to live locked up. That's what she says. Amen, Malcolm. I need one of them shirts, Malcolm. I don't even know where I got it from. Lisa got it. Lyric SG is tuned in. She says we're very down to earth. She loves us. Thank y'all. This has been the Rely Radio Show. It stands for Rebooting and Uniting Lost Energies. I'll put it up on the screen. Go and give Rely Radio. Go and give Rely Radio a follow on IG. And Inyar Zulu is making the show a star. I'm trying to verbalize that right.
No, you're right. I just like to put the mission ahead of me.
Trying to put the mission ahead of himself. Rebooting and Uniting Lost Energies is the name of the show, but it's entitled Rely Radio Show. If you look at that acronym, it is Rebooting and Uniting is the U. Lost Energies is the name of the show. I put it in parentheses right here. Go and give him a follow on Instagram, and also go and give Giovanni Surreal. Am I saying that right, sir?
don't even know the right pronunciation. It's French, so I've been told it was Syria. I've been told it's Sorrel.
Okay.
But Giovanni Sorrel.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And just in closing, what do you do? What is your capacity here today? Are you a philosopher? Are you giving back to the community? Are you just a public speaker? Or are you just a friend?
Right now, I would say I'm just a friend.
Okay.
Because I still I'm young and I'm learning as well, but I'm still open for room for improvement.
Okay.
So my end goal is I want to be a revolutionary. That's my real goal. Because sometimes if you want to be a leader, you can't be scared. So I feel like I'm not scared. I just need more like-minded people to help guide me too. So right now I'm just a friend, but eventually I want to get to the point to where I can lead a multitude of people. So we start from somewhere. Start small.
Time
Awesome.
out. This man is an angel. He's the only other guy at that club who will go over there and hand stuff to the homeless people.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it until he said, you knew the names of the same people I knew.
Mm.
And when he went out there, they knew who he was too. So this dude is like, he dope, man. Like he's a teacher. He be giving these kids knowledge, substitution. He's very disciplined. When the women would touch on him, he would be like, yo, chill out. He knew how to stay. I had to hype you up more than what you said.
I appreciate it.
So, and he, like you said earlier, he's staying with trying to take pictures of the hearts, do stuff like that, man. Not a heart stenographer.
Sonographer.
Sonographer, there we go.
But same like you, like I said, I always put others before myself. I know what I am. I know, like I said, I know more. I know better. I should do better. So I like to help people more than, that's a gift and a curse. Because sometimes I don't help myself, but at the end of the day, I feel like, God gave me a big enough heart. He gave me, I forgot that word. My stepmom used to always use it. Discernment.
Yeah.
Discernment.
Yeah.
So I feel like, sometimes kids are blessed with discernment more than adults.
True.
So I feel like I was, I feel like I was meant to be a leader in all aspects. I did it when I was younger. I did it in the Army. I'm doing it now. So I have to continue, but it starts small.
True. True.
What's your IG? TY Major is asking. TY Shy Major is asking. Is that your same name on IG?
No. Hold on. Oof. See, I don't really get into. So let's see. I give him my IG. I forget. Like I said, my mind is all over the place.
TY Major says he's going to follow Rely Radio. TY, I will put that in the comments after the show. His Instagram. We have to close. I am being summoned. I'm being summoned at the house, y'all. But this has been another great show. Y'all want to be involved in more great conversations? Tune in to the Rely Radio Show every Tuesday night from 8:30 to 10:30. He talks about this stuff all the time. Every week there's something deep. That's why I allow him to go 32 minutes over his time.
You be hooking me up, man. I so appreciate it.
Because I'm not like regular TV. Regular TV, they'll have y'all on the edge of your seat and then cut you off until the next week. I'll be like, man, no, let this keep going.
Yeah.
Because I want people to tune in and have a chance to tune in before we finish the show. So y'all tune in for more deep conversations about family, about unity, about uniting like-minded people to build relationships, to build relationships and societies and communities. It's all about, if you're tired of the way the world is operating around you, from music to politics to whatever, that's what these men were talking about. If you're tuning in late, go back and tune in to some of the things they're talking about. This has been the Rely Radio Show on Real Talk 100 Radio. This is Mr. Giovanni, Mr. Gio on your left, and this is Inyar Zulu on your right. I'm Malcolm with Real Talk 100 Radio. We got to get out of here for the night. But thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Thank you for the likes, for the shares, for the comments. We'll see y'all next Tuesday night from 8:30 to 10:30 on the Rely Radio Show. Keep it locked to Real Talk 100 Radio the rest of the night. Like Inyar already said, we got a lot of, during the daytime, we got a lot of 90s and 2000s R&B and rap greatest hits. We've got a lot of Southern soul being played, but make sure late at night, from like this time until 5 in the morning, hey, don't let your kids listen to this station. I'm telling you, because it's gonna get, like the kids say, lit and ratchet and all of that late at night. That's what you're gonna hear here, because we're all about the underground and independent music artists. So if you got music you want to send in, send your music in. Get in my inbox. We promote music. We promote music of all genres. We promote small businesses. So get with us. We're Real Talk 100 Radio, and that's all I gotta say. Good night from myself, Gio, and Mr. Inyar Zulu. Bye bye, y'all.
Peace.